Hello, friends. Today's episode is brought to you by From Within Records. From Within Records podcast, episode 33 is out now. DFJ tier list. If you're not familiar, please go tap in, subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts. You can thank me later. If you're not following From Within Records on social media, please boot up your X, your Instagram, click that follow button to stay up to date on all the current news. And like I always say, please support From Within Records because they support us. If you're looking for high quality merch for your band or for your business, please hit up my friends over at Good Fortune Printing out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. You can follow them on Instagram at Good Fortune Printing. If you want to get in contact with them, please email them contact@goodfortuneprinting.com. You can thank me later. Count down the days till I'm back in Wilkes-Barre. We're getting there. It's going to be a long month, but I seriously cannot wait till I step off the plane at Avoca Airport and just breathe in that sweet air. It's going to be the highlight of my month, highlight of my summer. I cannot wait. And you're going to hear about it until the day comes. You're going to see the vlog. It's going to be a good time. But on today's episode, we got to track down our good friend, Tyler Short. We're back. MCU podcast returns. We talk about Deadpool and Wolverine, which was really fun. Something that I've been looking forward to all year. It was very great to have Tyler back on the podcast. It was fun to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. It wasn't blown away. Spoiler alert. Wasn't blown away. But it was fun for a Deadpool movie. But I'm still pro let's get the MCU back on track. I feel like Tyler's in a different position, which is interesting. But I'm looking forward to the future of the MCU. It's been rocky, but I feel like the next couple of years will stabilize and it'll be good. I don't know if they could recreate the magic of the first, everything like pre-Endgame, right? Because everything was so new. But now we're just in a weird state. But I'm hoping we can get back to where I'm excited for everything, and not so selective on what I'm going to be excited for. But I'm looking forward to the films that are announced. But also, I'm curious about Shang-Chi. I'm curious about Peter Parker, Doctor Strange. What's up with these Disney Plus TV shows that we know about? But obviously, I feel like they're saving everything Disney Plus related for D23 later this month. So that's right around the corner. But it's definitely a fun conversation. I was happy to be able to speak to Tyler at length. Again, we cover a lot of MCU. We talk about Inclination going to Japan, LDB record stuff, and me going to Korea. It was a really fun conversation, and I could talk to Tyler for hours. It's always fun, and time always flies by. I hope all of you are excited. I hope all of you have seen Deadpool and Wolverine, so you can hear us talk about it. Maybe you can share your thoughts. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please head over there, click subscribe, leave a comment. Truly appreciated. But yeah, support Tyler, support everything he does. Go listen to the Hardcore Troubadour podcast. Go buy a record from LDB Records. Go see Inclination. Hopefully they get to a city near you this year or maybe next year. But please, strap in, enjoy this conversation. Without further ado, welcome Tyler Short to the show. right, and we're back. Tyler, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. Wait, it's been so long. Does your thing not like say like recording in progress?
I never knew it did say that. Well,
I guess all the podcasts I usually do, it usually like gives me like a warning on my end, like, hey, you're getting fucking recorded now, dude. And yours doesn't for some reason. That's crazy.
Interesting. Well, if I'm being honest, I'm just here's me peeling back the curtain. I'm using OBS, so I'm basically just like screen capturing. So like the program we're using to talk, I'm actually not using to record.
Okay. Well, that's weird. Then I guess I guess most podcasts I do are more audio, than you're the only one that really does video.
Interesting.
So that makes sense. Like I know Ace's podcast, you get the warning, and then you've got to like click away saying like, yeah, I got it. I'm being doxxed right now.
Interesting. All right. Well, we're not so lawful over here. We're going rogue. But wait, real quick. But before we get started, I just wanted to point out that in addition to the beautiful backdrop, is this photo of us from LDB. You can't really see it because
nice.
Because it's out of focus on purpose. But I remember I put it in my backpack, like just like in the little like slip on the side of my backpack, and I didn't notice till I got home. One of your cats, I'm not sure which one it was, nibbled on it.
He nibbled on it.
Nibbled on it.
That's so good.
Yeah, but I was like, that's a cool souvenir because and also a nice reminder of the cool cats.
That is so cute. Yours is that picture. My copy is in the LDB room on my record shelf.
All right. Well, it's been a long time. I haven't seen you since LDB.
You were here. Yeah, I know. It's been way too fucking long.
Yeah, and we haven't even recorded we planned on doing a podcast that weekend, but it was just way too hectic.
Yeah, no. I mean, and I was just I should have known too, like, because I've been to 2 fests since then, and I just have no fucking free time at these things. Like I'm moshing so much that I need all the time to recover afterwards. And the idea of waking up early to talk, like I have to sleep and eat as much as humanly possible in the limited time that I have. Otherwise, I'm just going to die.
100%.
I'm 36 years old now.
Yeah, I remember because we wanted to do it after the fest, and me just thinking about like my early flight, I was like, yeah, there's no way. I was like, I got to get some sleep before.
If you had flown home at like 3 p.m. or some shit, we could have done it, and I could have showed you more than just the highway from my house to the festival. But next time you're here, you got to spend more time here because it's just an extra day.
Okay. All right. We can touch more on LDB later, but I just had to point that out. But obviously, the main reason why we're here is for the MCU. This is the lone film for the year, which is crazy to think about because obviously we're later half of 2024, and I'm just kind of mixed, if I'm being honest. Post Deadpool, I thought I would be in a different state of mind when I think about the MCU, but I'm still just not too happy, if I'm being honest.
You're not too happy?
No.
Like about what's coming up, or about what you just got?
What I just got.
What you just got did not make you happy.
No. But obviously, we're going to break it down. But those were my initial feelings. Here we are. A couple days after watching it, yeah, I don't feel very satisfied, if I'm being honest.
Damn, I'm so sorry for you.
Did you really enjoyed it?
I really fucking enjoyed it, dude. I thought this, not just an MCU, all the things aside, this was just a good movie to me. It was just a really good movie to me. I thought everybody really turned in and a great performance, and I liked what I assume was the script and not just a bunch of ad-libbing and improving. I really enjoyed it. I hate that you weren't satisfied with Deadpool and the Wolverine, dude. I fucking loved it.
I just feel like this was like a very pivotal like moment like in the MCU, right? Because I was under the impression that we were gonna walk away with a better understanding of like what's going on in the MCU.
Oh, I didn't think that was going to happen at all.
Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, here comes Deadpool. Obviously, he has to be from another timeline because because like the X-Men, the mutants, whatever, didn't exist in the sacred timeline. And I was like, all right, cool. He's going to come in and we're going to have a better understanding of what's coming next. And I just feel like they just kind of made it a little more confusing.
Yeah, I don't think so. To me, at least, I really just in thinking about things to be upset about the movie with, I've got very few. I think there's only maybe, I was looking up like some Deadpool quotes. I think there's maybe only like two even just jokes in the movie that didn't land for me, and I was pretty satisfied with this. I didn't think it was going to move the MCU forward. I thought it was just going to be Disney was going to make a Deadpool movie, and that's what they did. And I think it hit a lot of the same beats that the Deadpool movies hit, and had the heart and had the humor that they all have. And I really was shocked at how hard the movie went at making fun of this situation Disney and Marvel are in at the moment. Period. Which I was pretty shocked at how rough they handled themselves in as far as letting themselves be made fun of so much. But these are the kind of jokes that some people would buy Twitter in order to stop people from making fun of them for how insensitive they were being towards somebody's financial situation. But I don't know, man. I really liked it. I didn't see anything with this movie. And again, I'm also not thinking about this in the scope of the MCU. It was cool to see Deadpool be in a movie that could talk about all the other movies. But this was just, I thought I was going to go and see another Deadpool movie, and I think it's my favorite one.
Yeah. Got to give Disney, credit to letting Deadpool be Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
I really respected that because I didn't want to see like a weird watered down version of Deadpool, because we know how crazy like the first two movies were. So definitely respect that. And like I didn't hate the movie. I just guess I just wanted to kind of move, further along with like this story.
I don't care about moving forward anymore. I don't care about moving forward.
Okay.
I just want to have a good time at the movies. I don't want to watch anything that feels like I'm having to do homework to do it. I don't want to watch anything that feels like I'm having to like I don't want to feel like I'm like on like I have to be like a defense lawyer for this movie now. In order to like justify continuing to go to these things. Which I feel like some of these Marvel movies have put me in the position of being like, okay, now you've got to go out and make a case for why you can still go to these things. And with some of them, I'm just like, I don't care for you to connect it to every single little thing. Just have it exist in the world and tell a good story. And if you can tie in things or have things tie into this story, like all the better. But just I think that they lost the plot with a lot of these. And I also can get not wanting to do like major commitments to tying things together. Cause I mean, right now they're in a position where they're completely abandoning a storyline. They're completely abandoning a villain. They're moving on. They're bringing actors back from retirement to play new characters. Like it's a really weird situation they're in right now. And I don't care. I don't know. I don't care about it moving the story forward so long as it's just a good story. And I'm trying to treat these movies like I treat DC movies. Just like, can I just go in the theater and then walk out and not feel like I just threw my money away like I just saw Venom 2? Which is how I felt when I saw Venom 2.
Well, at least we're going to get a wrap on that trilogy, so we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Dude, that trailer for that movie looks so fucking bad.
I'm surprised that it made it to a trilogy, if I'm being honest.
I cannot believe they're making. I can't believe it's making it to a trilogy either. And I liked the first Venom. I legitimately liked it. And ever since then, I feel like I'm being punished for that.
Yeah, and also
it's I feel like they're like, oh, you like that shit, didn't you? And then they're like, just like force feeding me more shit, and I'm like, no more shit, please. I've had enough.
Yeah, I hope down the line, X-Men, Fantastic Four are amazingly like successful, so Marvel, Disney can kind of nudge Sony and be like, hey, see what we did with these? Like, just give us Spider-Man. Like, let us do the Spider-Verse. You guys have been fucking up this shit for years. Like, let us do it right. We know how to like handle our characters,
dude. And I know we still haven't. I still haven't watched Echo, and I'm still down to watch Echo and talk about it if you are down.
Mm-hmm. I'm down.
I really do want to watch Madam Web and talk about it though.
Hey, I've been waiting for your call.
We just need to find the free time. Have you watched it yet?
No, because I wanted to wait for you so that we could both just kind of have like a fresh mindset on it.
Yes. Okay. I say let's try to do that like sometime next month or something.
I'm down. 100%.
I do. It has been so shit that just I've been so fucking busy, and like for real, like I really wanted to do that Civil War episode. But we still haven't even seen the Civil War movie. I wanted to see it. I've heard so many mixed things about it.
Mm-hmm.
But legit, me and Ashton didn't go to the movie theater for like, I want to say like 2 months, which is like a long time for us to not go to the movies. I can't remember even what the movie we saw was earlier, but we saw that Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare with my mom. And that was the first movie we gone to in the theater, so, like literally since like I think before you were here.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
Yes, because we used to go like every couple weeks.
Well, I'm glad you made it out for Deadpool because I'm happy to be here.
I mean, I wasn't gonna not. I needed to see this because I didn't want anything to get fucking spoiled for me. And there's some things that I would have been very upset to have spoiled for me in this movie. Okay.
Well, let's finally get into the movie because there's a lot to unpack.
A lot.
Yeah. So
I'm going to convince you that you liked this movie by the end of this.
No, like I said, it's not that I didn't like it. I just felt like there was so much more they could have done. Right? Because the door is wide open with time travel, right? We're in the multiverse, so anything is on the table. And
but they say in this movie, this shit is not working. Multiverse shit is not working.
Yeah. He
people had enough of it.
Yeah. And there's so many factors that are, at play that I feel like, kind of cause the ship to kind of go in a different direction, right? Because it was all, we're all going towards good after Endgame, but then I just felt like there's so many factors on why we're like where we were at before Deadpool, right? With like everyone just kind of being turned off by the MCU, a lot of people turning lukewarm, which I'm totally fine with, right? Because I'm here for the long haul. I like look at the MCU like I did with comic books. Like I like this because it's what I enjoy. Like if you don't like it, cool, see you later. Like you can come back. I'm still gonna be here. Like I'm okay with people talking crap about it. Like it doesn't bother me.
Well, no, and that's I think that's legit. Like that attitude towards this is the attitude I wish more people had, because I think it's very, very, the thing that pisses me off, and we talk about this every time we do one of these things, because I'm obsessed with finding out like what the worst corners of the internet have to say about everything. I haven't looked at anything about this because I'm assuming mostly this is probably pretty widely beloved because it's there's no strong female protagonist to really get these dweebs in a fucking all spun out over it. Mm-hmm. But all of those rage baiting fucking like channels and outlets that just spin up all these nerds and get them all fucking curious about things. They don't actually like anything. They hate everything. They're miserable people. The thing that I hate so much about all this like woke Disney bullshit is the idea that like it's the fact that they can't accurately direct their grievances in a direction because it would undermine their, conservative, right-wing, Nazi fucking agenda that they all seem to have. But they can't just go, oh, what's wrong with this is capitalism. What's wrong with this is mass marketing. What's wrong with this is the need for return on investment. Like, that's what's wrong with these movies. It's the fact that, like, that's what's driving all this woke stuff that they want to complain about. It's this idea that they're trying to maximize profits for all these things to the point that they're ruining the ability to be edgy in ways and like tell stories without having to consider like appealing to every single demographic. And when you write something that like you're trying to make appeal to everybody, you're going to make it appeal to nobody, because even the people who are like interested in like stories that are, addressing things that are hot button issues or, touchy subjects and stuff like that, when you do it in this like liberal milquetoast way, people are going to be put off for it because it doesn't seem authentic. It seems preachy. It seems all these different things that like these like reactionary guys are like not wrong in a lot of ways, that like, basically how pissed off everybody was the Acolyte, like all the things that they could point out with the Acolyte. I still haven't watched the Acolyte. I bet I won't hate it, honestly. but all the reasons that these people hated it were all undermined by the fact that all of their complaints about everything else going on in pop culture make them look like racist, sexist. So when their complaints about Acolyte have to do with them saying things like DEI or different, or, in any of these woke trigger word things that they use, it undermines legitimate critiques that you can have on these movies. And it also opens up people to say like, oh, people just hate this because they're sexist. And it's like, no, they might hate it because it just wasn't that good.
Mm-hmm.
But if you maybe wrote this in a way that was like willing to piss people off in like an effective and righteous way, rather than a way that's not offensive in any way whatsoever, you'd really get people on who are, more radical thinking or just real fans to watch it and go, wow, I really watched something that made me feel something and made me think about things and was interesting and cool. And now I can't wait to talk to people about this. And in the end, like when you make a bunch of milquetoast movies, you end up with me after Deadpool and Wolverine walking out going, man, I haven't seen a Marvel movie in a while that I really wanted to rewatch since maybe Spider-Man 3. And then I think about it a little bit longer and I'm like, what was the last Marvel movie? Was it Guardians? It wasn't Thor. And I can't even remember what the last one was.
Was it
And
Doctor Strange? Was it Doctor Strange? That's one that comes to mind.
I don't know. I Doctor Strange, Thor 4, and Guardians of the Galaxy could have come out in any order. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think Doctor Strange was after Spider-Man, because I remember thinking that one of the reasons why we didn't like Doctor Strange as much was because it was coming after Spider-Man, which was so fucking good.
Yeah, it's hard to live up to that movie.
Which is what I think so many of these movies, like Quantumania too. Like I think so many of these movies like suffer for what movie they're following or what movie they're preceding, rather than getting people just excited about what that movie is going to be in the first place. And I think like I'm starting to think that the reason Disney hires some of these directors, these inexperienced directors who are doing like artsy things, and it gets some people like excited, like they're going to tell some like, like fresh new story or new take on something, or see an angle that like, like a seasoned director might not see, or just, also just giving people a chance to like have a Marvel credit and get a big fucking payday. And that's cool. But I think when they pick these inexperienced people, it's kind of a way for the studio to just push them around. And like people want to blame like the showrunner or the director on all these different properties, and it's like it's really the fucking studio. It's the money people. That's the problem with this. It's the fact that they like expect to, and also like seeing what some people are doing with like low budgets and still making like doing like coming back to practical effects a lot, and like not really like having to waste all this time on CGI and whatnot, and trying to do more things like on site rather than having to do things on the back end. Like I just think the results are paying off so much more, and people are excited to see like real things rather than just like CGI punch 'em ups, which I'm really glad. This movie was awesome for that.
Yeah, this movie is awesome. I just want to touch on a couple of things. There was an indie horror movie that came out not too long ago, Long Legs.
I haven't seen it yet.
Really great. I see a lot of hipsters critique it, saying that it was mid, but I like to go to my my true horror people, and they say it's really good, and that's the reason why I watched it, and I really enjoyed it. So when I see people talking crap about it, I'm like, it's okay. I really enjoyed it. But then going back to giving directors a chance and being able to push them around and stuff, that just kind of makes me think back to Game of Thrones, because the guys behind Game of Thrones get a lot of crap for the last season, not realizing that they were kind of forced into that situation because they were bugging the creator of Game of Thrones for the longest time. Like, hey, are you going to finish the story? Like, you're
going to tell us what to do.
It's like we never imagined that our show would surpass the books. So please, can you finish the story? Can you help us out? Can you give us like any kind of help? And then getting pressure from like HBO, and then with the result of the final season, which I still don't think is that bad. I think it's just like that sheep mentality where like, they hear like, a couple outlets say that this is the worst thing in the world. It ruined the whole series. And like, that's the narrative. And then you just see what happens to them, right? They were going to do these Star Wars movies. And then, I think Disney just kind of wanted to step away from them because of the reputation they had after Game of Thrones. And just stuff like that. And then I also think back to like the James Gunn situation. Like Disney did him so dirty. And he was like one of the most talented people that they had. He's like, look what he did with the Guardians of the Galaxy. He turned a nobody team to like one of the most iconic teams ever.
Yeah, I still legitimately enjoyed the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and I fucking hate Chris Pratt now. Like, I fucking hate Chris Pratt, and I still liked that movie. Like, it didn't ruin the movie for me. The fact that I don't like him or think he's really that funny anymore, and so like James Gunn, very, very effective director, like very effective like producer and like creator of art. And I don't know. I think they need to like that was one of the things I thought that made the second Doctor Strange movie good, was that I could feel Sam Raimi in that film. I could feel that director. I could feel what they were working with. I mean, it's what even though a lot of these movies, the next couple movies I'm going to mention aren't directors who are like long in the tooth or known for any of these things, but like what Todd Phillips did with Joker, like given it was an homage film, but it really did like tap into like a vibe. And what Matt Reeves did with the Batman, like I really thought they keyed in on a vibe in those movies, and that really didn't feel like the studio was pushing into this movie very much. It felt like it was like I watched it and I was like, there was things I wouldn't have done in this, but none of them felt like things that this guy got pushed into doing. Whereas, one of a channel, and I don't know how cool the guy might be who makes this, because there's some, you catch like some like creators like little offhand comments they make sometimes, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know what that means, but I'm not going to really focus in on what that was, because for the most part, everything else you've said doesn't really throw up any red flags. But there's this YouTube channel, Bullets and Blockbusters, that does like more or less like what if situations with movies, or like the behind the scenes story on like how a movie went from what it was going to be to what it ended up being. And they've done a lot of videos about like those Joel Schumacher Batman films, and like the transition from the fucking guy, the guy who did the original Batman and Sweeney Todd and Edward Scissorhands. Why can't I think of that?
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. Couldn't think of Tim Burton's name for a second. But the transition from Tim Burton to Joel Schumacher, and like how like basically like Tim Burton was being like pushed into a lot of things by the studio and just said, fuck it, I'm not doing another one of these things. And then they did it to Joel Schumacher and he was like, okay, I guess I'll do it. And we saw how great those movies turned out.
Batman and Robin.
Fantastic.
But you mentioned the Joker, Matt Reeves' Batman. Those movies make me want to pull my hair out because and this is like pre-James Gunn, right? In a world where like the DC EU is in shambles, they're putting out like some of the.
Oh, I know they're the only good movies they're gonna make have no connection to the other ones.
Yeah, but how can like those movies exist and like
right,
like
Well, let's go back to how you're feeling about Deadpool and Wolverine, how you're wishing this was moving a bigger story forward or whatever. But I think the thing you focus on is just telling a good story, period, and then see what you can build off of that.
Okay.
And I think that's what they're doing with those. They're just telling a good story and they can build off of that.
True, but the difference between those movies and Deadpool is that they're actually not connected. Deadpool is there's a clear defined connection. Like, hey, like, and it's like okay, like, and he's like the first like mutant, right? That's crossed over, and like I said,
well, but more than anything, I think Deadpool and Wolverine was a farewell movie. This was a farewell movie to the Fox era, and this was like they made good on like unfinished promises. They made good on mistakes. They made good on people who were, probably could have done better in the movie they were originally in. And also just got to send some people out who were shining stars in the films that they were in. I don't know. I felt like this movie was like, dude, I legitimately was like kind of tearing up at the end with the montage of all the behind the scenes stuff. I thought this was just a perfect closing of the Fox chapter. And now we can open a new chapter of X-Men in the MCU.
Okay, should we start with talking about the movie?
Let's start talking about the movie. I cannot believe how it opened.
Yes, because this is probably one of the first times where I'm like, I want to be mad because of all the emotion that I felt at the end of Logan.
I was fucking jaw dropped, dude.
Yeah, but then I was like, I can't be mad because this is exactly who Deadpool is. So only Deadpool could do this and it be okay.
Dude, like the fact that they hid in the previews that whole snowy tree fight scene was him fighting with the desecrated corpse of Logan.
Yes.
Unreal. Just absolutely unreal. And the NSYNC song, like, dude, I used to watch TRL every day to see the Bye 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 music video. So I remember vividly those dance moves that he's doing in that intro sequence, and that was I could not fucking believe it. I was fucking dying. I don't care. I'm the fucking howling fucking ape at these movies. Like, so just simple and stupid fucking just consuming the garbage that is whatever people think of Marvel fans, and I am just hooting and hollering in this fucking in this movie theater, losing my goddamn mind. Fucking incredible, dude.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And I really enjoyed seeing the TVA getting murdered because I'm just not a fan of
the TVA, dude.
Yeah,
they're cops.
Exactly. I like they try to come with like this bullshit authority, and they've always been corrupt, doing bad shit. So seeing them just getting their asses kicked and just brutally murdered, it was really awesome.
This we're gonna be telling this in such a disjointed way because it's such a disjointed movie in so many ways. But like, I do like Homegirl who like had the vision for reforming the TVA. But I love that this movie was like pretty much a testament to like when you like you can't just end like if you're going to end corruption in an institution, you have to replace everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You can't reform some people. Some people are going to be loyal to the old ways or loyal to the way, you know, they think things should be done and go rogue. And well, here it is. It happened in this movie.
Yeah, we're dealing with a rogue, TVA agent trying to overthrow the whole system, trying to, become another god.
But yeah, no, watching all of them, dude, fucking brutal kills, dude. So many of those things. I cannot wait to watch this movie again just to see some of the creative ways that they, like when he's fighting with the spine as like a nunchuck sort of situation.
Mm-hmm.
So stupid, so fucking stupid, incredible.
The whole time the fight scene was going on, and he's using the head that's attached to the spine. He's using like his leg. I was wondering, I'm like, where are the claws? That's what I was wondering the whole time. And then when he finally gets to the point where he like has the claws and does like the Wolverine pose, I'm like, oh, okay, this is ridiculous, but this is fucking awesome.
And then he gets it stuck in a guy's dick and ass.
Yeah, and then that's where like, okay, this is the raunchy humor that Deadpool is known for, and I'm like, okay, Disney is wild for letting this happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, legit, I love that the movie opened like that because it was immediately like setting everyone at ease. Like this isn't going to change what this character is or what these movies are. And I also noticed it immediately. I was like, huh, every Deadpool movie opens with well, I guess I'll rewind and tell you how I got here.
Mm-hmm.
Every Deadpool movie starts like that. The first one does on the freeway.
Yeah.
The second one does with him laying on the tank of gas and blowing himself up. And then this one starts in a insane situation and him being like, well, I guess I'll tell you how we got to this point.
Yeah.
And I love that the explanation of how we got to this point was only like 10 minutes long.
Mm-hmm. he was using Cable's time traveling like wristwatch thing.
Yeah, well, he tries to get into the Avengers and gets turned down, and then basically gives up and becomes a car dealer, that shit was very good. All the stuff with him and Peter was fantastic, and him just in his normal life, riding bikes home from work, phenomenal. Yeah, I love just the making him just like a normal miserable person like the rest of us.
Well, what do you do when your dreams get crushed? You go for it. You don't succeed, and he wants to not be, a terrible person. He wants to be, known for something good.
Yeah, car dealership's not a good start because car dealers are like notoriously like scam artists.
Yeah, they don't have a really good rep. But it was pretty hilarious when they were, in their like changing room, and Peter just has his costume in his locker, just ready to go for any moment, and he's just like freaking out. He's like, "Why do you have that?"
Yeah, very good. But yeah, and then, dude, have you watched Succession yet?
No.
You need to watch Succession.
Okay, I'll add it to my list of TV shows that I need to watch.
That's Paradox. In Deadpool, he is one of the stars of Succession, and he is one of the stars of the show. He is one of the best characters in the whole show, and he's got a very Ohio accent in the show. And I would have never thought that motherfucker was British after watching Succession. And then I hear interviews with him, and I'm like, that motherfucker's British as fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of scary how some of these actors and actresses can mask their accent.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, I guess, like, I feel like you can tell when, like, an American's doing a British accent, but it's really crazy to me when I can't tell that a British person is doing an American accent. Because American accents are so... But, I mean, the same thing with British accents. Like, I don't know, have you watched Ted Lasso?
No.
Some of the characters in Ted Lasso learned different British accents for like, depending on where they're supposed to be from. Okay. In England. Cause like the Liverpool accent's different from like, like a Cockney accent, or like all these different things are very different. And I very much well realized that I might have just said something that's completely wrong, and Liverpool accent might be the Cockney accent. I have no idea. Not from there.
Me either. I was just going along with it.
I said that out loud, and I was like, I don't know, Liverpool accent might be the Cockney accent. I don't even know. But yeah, so he gets picked up. There's the great pegging line that was in the preview, which I think set everyone at ease as well going into this movie, knowing that they were going to make jokes like that. You realize that, okay, this movie's self-aware that it's playing in a new sandbox.
Yeah, I sat next to a dad and his two younger sons, and they were talking a little bit too much, but I don't want to be rude, even though they were being rude. So it's just like one of those situations where it's like, oh god, like I was just like, I don't want to boss up on this dad in front of his kids because I don't want to be a dick. So I was just trying to deal with it. But like in that scene, like one of the younger sons was like he was just like, Dad, what's pegging? And his
fantastic,
yeah. And I was just like, oh, here we go. And the dad just had to like shush him because I was like, I don't think his dad's gonna try to explain to this young kid what pegging means.
You know, he got that question later too, though.
Yeah, he's probably bugging him. Mommy, Daddy won't tell me what pegging means.
You know, he got that question later. That kid did not forget that question went unanswered.
Yeah, children
are fucking evil. That rocks. Yeah, that was good. I really, dude, and that whole scene being extended in the movie, I thought that was kind of the lower tier joke of the whole. Like the part where he's like, what I need is I need a lot of eye contact. When the way
he's like with you, he like points
you that guy in the back. That shit was fucking awesome. Yeah. And then when the guy gets mad at him, he's like, yes, keep that energy.
Yeah. And I was just in one of those months I was probably like over analyzing, but I'm like, why did they just knock on his door? Because they know that he's violating these TVA laws.
They weren't taking him for violation.
Oh, because they were taking him to be the to save his, or give him the opportunity to save his timeline.
No, not to save his timeline. He was just being pulled out of his timeline as an opportunity to go somewhere else and work for the TVA. Yeah,
to join the Avengers. Yeah.
I don't even know. They never really even explained what he was told to do. Apparently he was chosen because he's different in some way. And it seemed like Paradox was following orders that he was told to pull Deadpool out of his timeline before it dies, because it's going to die since Logan was lost. Yeah, they lost their anchor being. Yeah, their anchor being. And what it probably was, honestly, was, or what I would imagine that's what they've done with the other people is what happened to like Elektra and Blade and that whole crew, was them losing their anchor being, and them God, what was it, what's they called when they pop you with their little things? What
There's like I totally forgot the term, but they just get sent to the void. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they get sent to the void. What are they fucking? It's not purge, is it? I can't remember what they fucking call that shit. Well, anyways, I think they did that to them because they would be incentivized to like try to like fight back and save their universe and spoil it from like being, purged or whatever. But I think they pulled Deadpool out expecting him to just be like, oh yeah, I'll fucking fuck it. I don't care. Like, you guys have other plans for me, I'm down. And not taking into account that he might actually care about some shit. And that was the mistake, because then he goes and digs up Logan and tries to...
Well, because he had to put in work to get the people back, like the people that he loved, right? Because remember, the end of Deadpool 2, he had to go pluck these people that he cared about and bring them back. So I wasn't surprised that he wasn't going to want to just let his timeline go, and especially.
Oh yeah, no, it's obvious. It's obvious if you've watched any of the other Deadpool movies, he wasn't going to let this fly. But it was very funny to watch them not understand that he cared about something.
And they never explained who this, person in the shadows was giving these orders.
Yeah.
So there's still some.
Very curious. There's still some mystery or plot holes, whichever one you want to call, whatever you want to call them. But I was fine with it. It gave us that excellent in-sync intro with Deadpool fighting with Wolverine's desecrated skeleton, and then an incredible montage of him trying to find a new Wolverine.
Yes, but okay, before the Wolverine, I was just so surprised at how they were just so willing to give him new gear, right? It's like, okay, like you're putting a lot of trust into this crazy guy, and sure enough, he, goes off like the deep end once he gets like kind of like the full picture on why he was summoned there. But he just got a free new outfit, which is like, God, these TVA people are just a bunch of idiots.
Dude, I really loved that he jumped towards that guy who was giving him the insane eyes as well.
The whole time.
That shit was awesome.
He was fanboying.
Yeah, that shit was funny. That dude was funny. Every time his ass was on screen, I laughed a little bit because he looked so funny all the time.
Yeah, and you mentioned the montage, which I didn't even expect for like that just went over my head because I was like, okay, he's just gonna go find Logan. But when the first Wolverine gets off the stool,
Short King,
I was like, oh my God, I was like, all right, this is gonna be awesome. And then it was cool to be able to showcase like all the different types of Wolverines, and
show how brutally they treated him. Every which one of them,
yeah,
was awesome.
Yeah, my favorite was Patch.
Patch was great.
Yeah. And then
he looked fucking cool.
There's the one where he was like, hey, he's like, aren't you supposed to be fighting the Hulk? And the Hulk's like right behind him.
He's like, you were in this costume when you were fighting the Hulk, weren't you?
Yeah. That moment was badass. Which I was like,
that shit was good. And I had the Henry Cavill thing fucking ruined for me. I knew that shit was coming.
How'd it get ruined for you?
Somebody just told me Henry Cavill was in it.
Oh, okay. That one I didn't see coming, but I thought was hilarious. Which because he's for him, a lot of people know him as Superman.
Yeah, I'm really glad they didn't do more with him than just that. But I was really, really happy to see it.
Yeah.
I love that he was just revving a motorcycle for seemingly no reason. Incredible.
And somehow out of all the Wolverines, we find out through watching the film that he picked the worst one.
The worst one. That's awesome. That's the Deadpool movie. That's exactly. I thought that whole thing was it made perfect sense in the because Deadpool's arguably the worst superhero.
He's okay.
There's so much collateral damage to anything he does. Like he's constantly getting people killed and murked in insane ways. Hardly saves anyone.
Yeah, I just can't believe that Wolverine believed in Deadpool's promise. He's like, I promise, like we'll fix your timeline. And I'm like, I don't think it works that way.
Promise him. He said these guys can't help you.
No, he said he promised.
He wasn't promising though. He was saying if we do this, these people will help you fix your thing. They can do it. He was just authoritatively speaking for other people without knowing what they were actually capable of. He was lying, but he wasn't like promising him this. He wasn't like, he was just telling him, he was making an educated wish.
I would have never bought that. Which I was just mind blown. I was like, this Wolverine might be pretty bad for him to, take
believe this.
Yeah.
Well, he was pretty drunk all the time.
That is true. He's always wanting some sort of alcohol.
I'm trying to think, is the next thing that happens him getting sent to the void?
Yeah, because he brings back the Wolverine to the TVA.
Yeah, and then they purge him.
To Paradox, and he's just like, hey, and then he's like, you're an idiot, like you grabbed the worst one, and then they got sent to the void, which which I thought was probably like one of my more favorite parts of the movie, because obviously this is where we get all the cool cameos.
I
but
mean,
also,
most of the movie takes place in the void, I feel like.
yeah. We got a lot of cool cameos, but also, you know, a lot of nods to Loki, right? The Disney Plus series. And also I felt like too, this
Dude,
movie,
I thought about the reference to Loki when they mention when Eliath is mentioned, he goes, "Oh, Eliath from Loki season 1, episode 5." That shit, I thought about that line like the next day and fucking started laughing at work. It's so fucking funny. It's such a stupid way to do that. God, this movie is so fucking stupid. It's awesome.
yeah, but also I felt like it was very rewarding for people who, you know, have consumed like a lot of this like previous content, right? It's like you didn't need to watch it, but if you did, you were like, you got a lot of stuff like, you know, way quicker. But
dude, the Chris Evans thing really blew my mind.
I got because, you know,
me too,
because you see like the blue and you're like already thinking like, oh fuck, this is like, because I went in with no spoilers, so I was thinking like, holy fuck, this is it. We got our Cap back. Cap is about to, you know, run the void and save them. And then when Deadpool's like, all right, he's gonna say it. Oh my god, I was
dude, I like audibly exclaimed multiple times during this movie, like, what? Like, I was being that fucking guy. I was holy shit. I was, oh my god. I was fucking like, I was fucking howling ape during this shit, dude. I was hooting and hollering and being a disruption. I couldn't believe a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
And then of course Pyro, it's like, well, you're not gonna fucking use Pyro and Pyro.
And it was cool to see that actor come back, because
it was very cool because I liked him, and he was he X2 or X3? I can't remember.
It was X2.
Gotcha.
And also same thing with Toad and Sabretooth.
Dude, that was it was original actor who played Toad, the guy who played Darth Maul too.
Yeah.
Unreal. It was Ray Park.
Yeah, I think it was Ray Park.
Yeah, Ray Park. What a guy. That's so badass.
Yeah. And then I feel like it was like the only original actor that didn't come back was like the Juggernaut, right? Because it was a different Juggernaut.
Oh, was it a different Juggernaut? I couldn't even tell. I just noticed he had the really stupid costume,
which I liked.
Awesome.
But okay, the one thing that I didn't like about The Void is Cassandra Nova.
You didn't like her?
No.
What about her?
I just think the character is just, I was just like, this is why we came to The Void. This is a Cassandra Nova. She could leave The Void whenever she wants, but she likes it so much here that she's just gonna stay. I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Yes.
Right. And then
that makes sense.
And then, okay, she finds out, oh, they're trying to backdoor me. They're going to backstab me. I'm going to leave and make them pay. And then, oh, she leaves.
Yes, it all makes sense. Jamie, none of what you're saying right now didn't track or make any sense to me.
No, I just didn't like her character. I just was like, this is the villain. I hated it.
She wasn't the villain.
What are you talking about? She was trying to take over and kill every time.
She was the biggest problem in the end. The villain was Paradox.
There's multiple villains. There can be more than one villain.
Paradox was the villain. She was a tool.
You don't think she was going to be the villain when she was trying to kill everybody?
I mean, well, yeah, she was trying to kill everybody because she was mad, but she wasn't the villain. The villain was Paradox. Paradox was the one with the plans and the design and all the different and the scheme.
Mm-hmm.
She's the force of nature. She's Joker. She's like, she's the thing she's the mess. She's the catastrophe. Like calling Cassandra Nova the villain of Deadpool and Wolverine is like saying like, oh, the villain in Twisters is the tornadoes. It's like, these are just natural things that happen.
I wouldn't say she's natural because she's doing this all by choice. She's choosing to stay.
She would have stayed her course if it wasn't for the actions of Paradox.
But you don't think what she was doing in the void was bad? Feeding people to Alioth?
It's got to eat.
Yeah, so I feel like, okay, I feel like Alioth could be the twister, but I feel like Cassandra Nova is just...
I mean, she's fucking... Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe she's a little villainous, but I at no point hated her in the movie, but I hated Paradox.
Yeah, no, I hated both of them, if I'm being honest.
I didn't hate her at all. I totally understood her and felt bad for her.
Why'd you feel bad for her?
Well, we'll get there.
Okay. All right, so they pull up. Okay, so they get mobbed upon by Toad, Sabretooth, that whole gang, and they get captured. Johnny Storm is zero help.
Is unceremoniously decapitated.
Yes, and that's where Deadpool gets his Mad Max moment, which is funny because obviously, like, that's what that whole part of the void looked like, you know, which I enjoyed, and I really liked their like compound, right? Because they're pulling up to it, and you see Scott Lang, like, you know, is like a giant man. You're like, holy crap, Scott Lang! Some sort of version of Scott Lang got out here, and he's dead, which was like pretty morbid too, right? Because when his like mask opens, you see like his giant skull. I was like, this is dark.
Yeah, and I didn't see the preview with that joke in it, but where Deadpool says, "Oh, Paul Rudd finally aged."
Yeah, that was hilarious because he looks the same.
Pretty good because also, well, he doesn't anymore. Paul Rudd aged like 10 years in the last like few months. He looks old as shit now. It's crazy. He just waited to age.
Well, now
he lost his Dorian Gray painting or some shit, and now he's just falling apart. A lot of people said it's because he came out as a Zionist, and then that's what made him age.
I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, it's pretty bummer.
Okay, damn.
Pretty bummer. Let's not talk about that. It's pretty sad.
All right.
You didn't have to do that. Nobody made him.
But I knew it wasn't going to be Charles Xavier, right? For people who, you know, they were trying to, frame it. Like,
yeah. No, I mean, it was pretty much. I thought like, well, actually, I guess if you were avoiding spoilers, I think people had. I had heard all the speculation it was going to be Cassandra Nova was going to be the villain, which, I mean, she was the villain of the Void, but in the whole grand scheme of things, I just don't think she was that bad. I understood her motivations.
Like, I hated her, but I think I didn't think she was like really bad until she like got out, because that's where
I like the actress a lot. I thought she did a great job.
Yeah, dude, the way they made her look so frail, I was like, ooh,
also just all of her body language was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Like the carefreeness, like the carelessness of how she like behaved, like was truly just like a person who's never had any threat to her.
Yes.
Like that was how she struck me the whole time, was like she's never been scared.
Well, yeah, the way she just melted Johnny Storm, that
was fucking rough.
Yeah, I was like, I would be shaking my boots to be near her, because just any little thing, like Deadpool's like, oh, like he was talking shit about you, and boom, she just gets him.
Dude, crazy. That was nuts. I could not. I was jaw dropped at that too. My jaw was dropped multiple times to this movie. I could not believe the graphic nature and insane degree that this movie just went so fucking hard all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. But yeah, then they I'm trying to think, they escape because Alioth comes.
Yeah, she was going to feed Deadpool and Wolverine to Alioth, and Wolverine was like, fuck this, and they just hopped on that rocket booster leg and just took off.
Yeah, that was good. Is the next scene the diner scene?
No. Is it the diner scene? The diner scene. Oh, because they're looking for, because they got word of like a safe haven, right?
Yeah.
Or like a way out, because there's like two ways out of the the void. So yes, they get to the diner, and that's where Wolverine just is drinking the rubbing alcohol, which I was like, dude, this guy is. I was thinking about it, I was like, ew, that'd be so nasty.
Yeah, and the one of the better meta lines in the movie was Deadpool saying, "Oh, we're gonna wait for a third act flashback for this." Okay.
Yeah. The diner.
I can't remember. Maybe that actually the diner might have happened after Nice Pool. I can't remember if he happens before or after the diner, but that shit was fucking incredible. With the dog, and that character is just, and his lines were very pointed. Yes.
Nice Pool. He was so nice I hated him.
Oh yeah, he was fucking awful. I hated him way more than Cassandra No.
Yeah, but thanks to him, they were able to get his Honda Odyssey so that they could work their way out of the void. But that's where they get in the argument where
so Nice Pool does happen after the diner because that's when they get in the Honda Odyssey, and then they drive for a while, and that's where they get in the Wolverine says some out of pocket shit, and Deadpool's like, okay, I'm gonna fight you now.
Yeah, but it all led up because that's where he finds out that Deadpool isn't like it's not guaranteed that he can save his timeline.
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean might be able to help?
Yeah, and that fight scene was just awesome, just because it was just we totally skipped over the first fight when they get into the void.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah. Because they get into the void, and
they basically fight for quite a while until Johnny Storm interrupts them.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be badass. Because like when Wolverine kind of like crouches down and starts like running at him,
when he runs on his hands and
like an animal,
that was like, fucking cool.
So that was the first like badass fight scene between the both of them. And then we get treated to another one, but this time
the car fight scene is unreal.
Yeah, this time it's like close quarters inside this Honda Odyssey, and it's just very bloody. And that's one thing that I enjoyed is that both of them obviously have this awesome like healing ability. That's like like one of their superpowers. So just the brutality of like getting stabbed with Deadpool's swords and knives and Wolverine's claws. They were able to just go at it, and it'd be wild, and just it made sense.
Yeah, no, it was very good. And then also just like the fact that it goes on forever, and then inevitably you find them laying down, and Deadpool's just wrapped around with a seatbelt like 100 times. Yeah,
and then the mysterious figure, like somebody like approaches, gets in the van, and takes them somewhere.
Drives
and
them,
they don't show who it is, but then they wake up in like this cave, which was awesome because like one of the first shots you see, it's like you see like the Scarlet Witch like into stone.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, in the ceiling, it's the Scarlet Witch, and I was like, oh, that's fucking sick.
That's awesome.
And then this is where we get some pretty awesome cameos, but one cameo I was also confused about. Because
machine gun cameos, dude.
Yeah, because we see Elektra first, right?
Yes, she comes in, and I'm trying to think. I can't remember who's standing closest. Oh, it's Deadpool standing close to the door. He pulls a sword, and he goes to strike, and you see it go between the thigh, and you're like, "Fuck!" And then it's Jennifer Garner, and you're like, "Damn, that Elektra movie sucked. This was cool. They're letting her come back."
Yeah, because that's like OG superhero movie, right? Like people don't realize, like Ben Affleck was Daredevil back in the day, and
dude, and it's the reference to Ben Affleck Daredevil in it is phenomenal too. When they're like Daredevil, just goes, "It's okay."
It's okay. Yeah, because in real life they used to be married.
Yes,
and it didn't.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it didn't end well.
Awesome. That was fucking awesome. Love it. But and then the next one who comes through the door is fucking Blade, and I legitimately, and that was the point where I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I couldn't fucking believe this movie at this point. Like the Wesley Snipes thing was fucking nuts.
Yeah, and
He looked great too.
he did. And I like when he was like, oh, he's like the one and only Blade.
Yeah, he's like, there will only be one Blade. I was like, God damn, they are taking shots, dude.
Well, there was like multiple shots because there was the Blade TV series after him, which tanked, and then the current Blade movie is in like limbo. Like it's just getting tossed around.
There's production hell for like 3 years.
Yeah, I guess
maybe 4 years. They might have been in production before COVID. I can't remember now. I just
kind of don't want it to come out because it just when it's passed around like this, I was like, is it really going to be what it was supposed to be? Can it still be good? I don't know.
We'll see.
But
we will see. We'll see it.
Well, who knows? That was the one movie they didn't mention at San Diego Comic-Con. They talked about everything, but Blade did not get mentioned.
The thing that sucks the most about that is that like legitimately like halted Marshall Ali's career to a certain extent. Like, you know, that has like prevented him from taking certain roles because of, well, I've got Blade.
Mm-hmm.
And then for that to be like, you know, passed around so much and being delayed so much, it's like, well, he's had this on his docket and probably he's been on retainer for a lot of money to do this movie, and
might not even happen.
It might not even happen. That's fucking ass. But anyways, fucking Blade walks in, incredible.
Yeah.
And then fucking Gambit, dude. When I saw the card, I legitimately screamed. I was like, what the fuck? Ashton was losing her fucking mind.
Okay. My perspective of Gambit, I was like, are they making him a joke character or is this how he's supposed to fucking be? Because I could not take him serious.
That's how Gambit is.
I just felt like they were making him to be like a fucking dumbass.
No, he's just, that's how he is. Dude,
I don't know.
Dude, one of the best quotes in the whole fucking movie is, "Who's your accent coach? The Minions." Fucking phenomenal, dude. I was legitimately losing my fucking mind. No, dude, like Remy LeBeau has like a horrifying Cajun accent.
No, I know that, but it just like he just seemed like a step behind. Maybe it's because he was talking to Deadpool. I don't know. The one time that I thought he was badass was when he just fucking broke the whiskey or whatever Wolverine was drinking because he didn't ask.
He did a lot of badass shit in the fight.
It was okay,
dude.
He did some cool stuff, but for me, I was like, oh god, because I love Gambit.
I love Gambit, and I was fucking stoked and thrilled. That was the best live action Gambit we may ever get. That might be the only live action Gambit we ever get, other than Taylor Kitsch and the Wolverine, which we're not going to talk about because it sucks. Because
he was such a popular X-Men. I'm like, why did they never utilize him? So just seeing, and just like that small snippet that we got in Deadpool Wolverine, I'm like, this guy could have been fucking it.
Yeah. I'm just thrilled to let Channing Tatum at least play him in this.
Yeah. Shout out to whoever's idea that was, because he's been trying
to get the Gambit. He's been trying to play Gambit for almost as long as Ryan Reynolds was trying to get Deadpool made, apparently. There's, again, that channel I mentioned, Bullets and Blockbusters. Mm-hmm. There's a video about the Channing Tatum Gambit movie and how many ways it changed and didn't happen and almost happened. Pretty crazy.
I fucking love Gambit. There's a comic book. I cannot remember who wrote it, but there was Gambit was like a spy agent, like 007 type shit, and it was so fucking cool.
That sounds awesome.
But yeah, I just wanted more Gambit. I wanted more
Gambit too, and hopefully we get it. Hopefully this is the catalyst of us really getting more Gambit, because that was one of my highlights of the movie. And then lastly, we get Laura revealed, and my heart just fucking grew goddamn Grinch sizes for a minute. That was awesome.
Yeah, because you got to remember, Wolverine Logan, like saved her life, and all those other kids, and she helped them out, right? I guess she kind of saved them too, bringing them back to the little compound. I don't even know what she was doing out there. How the hell did she find them?
What, the kids?
No. Deadpool Wolverine in the van.
Oh, Deadpool. I mean, yeah, I guess you. I mean, well, I assume the fight they were in was making a lot of noise.
Yeah. There was there was the talk of, like what to do to, try to combat Cassandra Nova, and you find out that she killed Magneto, right? Because that was Deadpool's like first idea. He's like, there has to be like a Magneto somewhere, right? And she's like, no, they killed him, melted his helmet. And then they talked about,
his reactions to every time he has an idea and it's shot down is fucking awesome.
Yeah, but it was just interesting to hear, she killed Daredevil. And I was like, damn it. Why did they let Daredevil go in there and die? Because I fucking love Daredevil, so I was just bummed to hear that.
Well, it was Ben Affleck Daredevil, so
yeah, so I wasn't too bummed. But then they realized, like, okay, like, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna get Juggernaut's helmet, because he's Charles' stepbrother, and his helmet has the power to block their powers. So they're all right, like, this is the plan. We're gonna go in there and get the Juggernaut helmet, and everybody's on board except for Wolverine, which it's kind of like a bummer. It's like, dude, like, you got to try to get out of the void. And there was the fire pit scene, right, where he's just drinking, and Laura.
Dude, I love when he starts to tell her the story, and she goes, "No, it's okay. You don't have to tell me." And he's like, "No, I need to." Mm-hmm. That part was like, it almost felt like it did make me laugh, because it was two serious characters, not like trying to be funny, but accidentally like having a funny moment, and not addressing the fact that it was funny at all. So like that really got me. But yeah,
and that's where you find out about like what happened in his timeline and why he's so in such a bummer mood all the time. And I just, obviously, like, maybe they'll touch on it at some point in the future, but he just talks about how he went out to go get drunk, and in the midst of him getting drunk at the bar, the X-Men mansion got raided, and everybody just gets murdered, and he comes back to find everybody dead, and he just like blames himself because he wasn't there to help fight alongside his teammates. So when he tells that story, I'm like, yeah, that I couldn't imagine living with that torment. He went to go do some stupid thing, and his whole fucking life gets torn to shreds.
Yeah, dude, there's I can't remember what it was. I watched a YouTube video that was like explaining Logan and like the headspace that Logan is in at the start of that movie. And they basically they walk through like all the events of X-Men Wolverine Origin, and then they go through the events of X-Men and X2 and X3, and then Days of Future Past, and then they go, and then he went back and did this, and then all the events of like First Class and like Apocalypse and all these different things happen. And they explained that like Logan lived this long, and then he went back and did that, but because of the way Logan's brain works, he can remember things in the alternate too, because his brain like will retain like what he changed through time. So like they basically explained like Logan lost everyone he loved twice.
It's terrible.
Before you meet him in this movie. So like the reason he is so pissed off and so dark and so done with everything is because he's had the worst things happen to him, and then undone some things, and then still had the worst things happen to him again. Like, unreal tragic character. Fantastic. But yeah, no, dude, when he says like, "I'm not the right guy," and she says, "You never were."
She says, I had the quote pulled up because that's where I brought up the scene. He says, "Whoever you think I am, you got the wrong guy." And then she drops "You were always the wrong guy until you weren't."
God, that line is so good.
Yeah, and that's the line that fucking changes his mind to go to the fight. Because when they pull up in the Honda Odyssey, which I think is hilarious.
Dude, when Blade pulls out the rocket launcher, he goes, "Where'd you get that?" He goes, Punisher, and he goes, which one? There's been so many.
Yeah. And there has been a lot, which is crazy.
There have been a lot. Phenomenal.
But yeah, but it was just so badass when like Logan just he's the last one to get out. He gets out of the fucking hatch in the bag and just like, fuck yeah. This is gonna be
also just insane to watch. What is Hugh Jackman like 6'4", 6'3", something like that? To watch his ass climb out of the bag.
Yeah.
Dude.
And
Hugh Jackman in this fucking movie, man, he turns in an insane performance.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that he's one of those perfect castings, right? He's like a Tony Stark, Iron Man. They just found the right one. Because you got to think
he was relatively unknown when he got cast as Wolverine,
and that was
like he wasn't a huge actor at all.
Mm-hmm.
He was like one of the lowest profile people on that movie.
And look at him now,
acting with Patrick Stewart and fucking Ian McKellen and shit. Like that's crazy.
Halle Berry.
And yeah, Halle Berry. Like even James Marsden had like a little bit of like buzz around him. Yeah, nuts.
Yeah, I was just so happy because I was okay. I was like, all right, if Logan is it, he's done a lot, right? He's like the main staple in all the X-Men movies. So I was like, all right, Logan, all right, we gotta say goodbye. But seeing him in an MCU film, and I'm like, fuck, this guy's still badass, even though he's still older. But
dude, huge jacked man, like straight up, dude. He looked insane in this movie too. It's crazy that he's been able to stay in the shape, and he hates it too. I don't know if you've ever watched interviews with him talking about like the training he has to do to get into Wolverine shape, and he fucking hates it. Well,
yeah, especially it gets harder as you get older.
Yes.
So I can imagine, but hopefully when he sees that direct deposit hit, he's good.
Exactly. But yeah, no, dude, that fight though in their fucking compound is fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude, the scene that just made me like, holy shit, was when Laura got Juggernaut.
Yes. She's going like fucking like Wildcat mode on his ass.
Yeah, but when she cuts his like Achilles tendon.
Oh yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah.
But when she's like climbing on him and just like doing the whole like crazy fucking punching into him, just gnarly. Just so fucking gnarly, dude.
Yeah. And then there was Psylocke was there, which I was like, that's not my Psylocke, but okay.
I honestly didn't even notice Psylocke until she pulled Laura back at the end. I love that she put her sunglasses on too. Phenomenal, dude. X-23 rocks. I really want to see more of her. I hope.
Well, in the comic book, she takes over the mantle as Wolverine. Mm-hmm. So that's what I with all these female led movies, I was like, okay, cool. I was like, maybe we're going that direction where this is because Hugh Jackman was allegedly supposed to be gone forever. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, this. Because there's people campaigning for Zac Efron, which I would have been okay with.
I would have been okay with that too, honestly.
And then they're like, oh no, they're gonna go with Laura Kinney because that's why they kept her alive at the end of Logan. So I'm like, oh cool, I would love that because I loved the X-23 when she was like Wolverine. It's like the all new Wolverine. I was like, this is fucking badass. Like this is awesome.
And she's a great actress.
Yeah, I don't know her real name.
Me either.
Well, I want to look it up so we can give her respect. What is her name? I'm really bad with actors and actresses' names. So don't.
I'm good sometimes.
Daphne Keane.
Daphne Keane.
Yeah, Daphne Keane Fernandez.
Spelled weird too with an F.
Yes, I've never seen it that way. But all respect to Daphne Keane. Yeah.
Yeah, she rocks.
Yeah, and then I was watching a show, New Rockstars, just breaking down all the other villains, and there was a version of Bullseye.
There was a version of Bullseye I didn't even notice.
Yeah, he was the guy, he was the bald guy with the black trench coat.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, but that fight scene, that fight scene was badass because it was cool to see, obviously Blade and Gambit and Elektra X-23 go to battle. So it was cool to see them get their shine. But the whole time they were fighting, I was just like, are they like self-sacrificing? Because like, how are they all gonna leave? That's what I was wondering the whole time. I was like,
well, they were.
Yeah.
Except they do get saved in the end.
Yeah. We'll get there. But yeah. So they're all fighting, whatever, and then Wolverine and Deadpool make it up to Cassandra Nova, and Deadpool gets yeeted. And
dude, he gets fucking. She chucks his ass. It's awesome.
Yeah, but oh my god, it was always so nasty and creepy when she's like fingering everybody.
I hated it, dude. One of the most unsettling parts of the whole movie.
Yeah,
watch people get their shit fucking stabbed or fucking amputated. Like even the Achilles slash on Juggernaut, like all day I could deal with that shit. Watching a finger come out of someone's eye socket or out of their nose.
But I just hated when she was doing it to Wolverine in that scene where she was just going straight in.
Pushing straight into his forehead, yeah.
Yeah. And, they're like walking along what people were saying were like all the graves of
I assume those are graves,
yeah. Yeah. Which it's like, she's like trying to like, she's always trying to mentally break you when she's like entering your mind. But like while that's happening, X-23, she kills Juggernaut, gets the helmet, and she's like going up to give it to them, but she gets pulled down by Psylocke. But then she tosses the helmet, which was in the backpack, to Deadpool, which was awesome because he comes back and slaps the helmet on her, and I'm like, kill this bitch.
Yeah, because she's looking at him, she's like, I've got you, and he's like, no.
Yeah, they get her, and I'm Team Deadpool in that moment. I'm like, we need to kill this lady. She's evil. And then this.
No, dude, and now we're at the scene where I like Cassandra Nova.
Okay,
this is fucking awesome because fucking
Pyro
walks in, fucking puts in like 4 or 5 bullets in her.
Yeah, because he had the deal.
Remember, does Wolverine just knock him out?
Yes, because he's trying to give his speech, and then he knocks him out. And he's like,
oh, dude, no more speeches. That's so fucking good.
Yeah, that was awesome because
that part fucking rocked. Yeah, that was so cool.
Definitely didn't want to hear a speech from Pyro.
The level of disrespect was fucking just aghast. Oh, it's so cool. But yeah, but then he's like, no, he's like, the only way we're gonna get back is with her. And then he gives her that, like, if Charles would have known. Oh god, that tugged on the heartstrings right there. He would have ripped the world apart to find you. Like, oh, dude, because he's not lying.
It's true, because Charles is that guy. He wanted to care and take care of all the mutants because he knows how bad, like, people like viewed them, and he just wanted to give everyone a safe haven and to show the world that mutants aren't different.
Yeah, that was phenomenal, and I love that. And then they take the helmet off, and
she's like, I killed them.
She's just like, well, I killed this magician.
Yeah, and wore his skin. She said she wore his skin for like 3 days or some shit. And I'm like,
psycho. I'm not saying she's good. I'm just saying I get her.
Yeah, and she pulls out.
I'm not saying she's the worst evil thing, but yeah, insane. But yeah, she does the
sling ring. Yeah, she pulls out the sling ring from Doctor Strange, and yeah. And then that's where, like, okay, she opens the portal and she's like, all right, like, you guys got to go. Because now it's like they got to get to the portal before Alioth gets to them. And then that's where I'm like, okay, they're running and jumping. And then you just see Elektra, Deadpool, X-23, Gambit just looking up, just happy for them. And I'm like, you guys are going to die. Because the portal's going to close. Cassandra's going to be pissed. Alioth is here. Like, you guys are done for. But I guess... they played their part, which was cool, and that's where I thought we were gonna see the end of them, but they'll get brought up later. Yeah. But yeah, they make it back to where did they land? I'm trying to. Oh, they remember. They land in the CarMax parking lot because Peter's.
Oh, I got the name on what pruned.
Pruned
is what happens there.
Yes, pruned. It's not CarMax. The CarMax is the brand that they're making fun of.
Yeah, they land in like a Kia Sorento or something. It feels like a Kia.
Yeah.
That part was awesome. They fucking crushed that car so bad. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I just love that the kids were like, oh, it's Deadpool and Wolverine. They got recognized.
Yeah, the kids get very excited. That was very cute. I love that. Yeah, so yeah, the Time Ripper. Dude, Time Ripper looked cool. Also, Time Ripper, great band name or record title.
I feel like there was a band named Time Ripper.
That's sick.
Yeah, but I don't think they did a whole lot. But yes, but while they made it back, Cassandra is fingering Pyro to figure out who who he made a deal with to try to kill her.
Fingering Pyro. Yep, she was.
Yeah. And and then she finds out that it was Paradox, and she gets pissed because they're supposed to.
She does.
Yeah, because they just had a deal like that they were going to leave her alone. But when she finds out that they're doing things behind her back, that's where she gets pissed, and she's like, "All right, like I'm going to go check this motherfucker."
So, what about her you didn't like?
I didn't like the fact that she was being so evil in the void.
She was just she was occupying a seat of power.
Yeah, but and she's had too much ego because she
because she'd never been scared or challenged ever before until this day where the Juggernaut helmet is put on her and she's actually afraid for once.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's shown compassion. And she is capable of doing a noble thing. But then you cross her. She's not capable of forgiveness.
She's not. But then she gets greedy once again because she's like, oh, there's like this crazy powerful machine that is being made by this weak bastard. I'm going to kill him and steal the power. Where's the compassion?
She doesn't kill him, though. She just tortures him until he tells her how to get into it.
True, yeah. And then she gets it in her head that she wants all timelines to be gone except for the void.
Yep. Because she wants the only place for it to be where she's in control.
But, okay, so she's in the void.
Which is kind of a self-preservation sort of mindset to her in a way, because she's now seen where she can't trust anybody to stay out of her business.
But she doesn't know about Loki.
No.
Yeah, because the whole time I was like, your plan's not going to work, because even if you get control of the Time Ripper, maybe you kill a couple timelines here and there, but someone's going to step in and smack you.
Well, there was no need for that. Somebody, two guys stepped in and stopped it.
Yeah.
Right after they fought a million of the same person.
Yes, which it was cool because what's the dog's name? I can't think of the dog's name.
I probably got it here.
I'm drawing a blank on the dog's name. It's not Dogpool.
It is Dogpool.
Is it Dogpool?
Yeah, I think it had another name, and then Nicepool also called him Dogpool.
Yeah, Dogpool shows up, and then Nicepool, and I just love that. Deadpool Prime, like the one that we're following the whole time, he's just wanting to steal the dog. He's just like, hey, he's like, let Dogpool pick its owner.
Well, that's like, I'm trying to think. Isn't there something? Oh, I'm thinking about it's very similar to Rocket Raccoon being obsessed with Winter Soldier's arm.
But how is his arm going to pick an owner?
Oh no, just like he's
like the weird obsession of wanting it.
Yeah, just fixated on just this one thing. Like this is all I really like care about, because I really feel like I can't care about anything, but it's really funny for me to care about this one thing. So I'm just going to keep caring about this one thing. Make a huge deal about it. It's a good bit.
Yeah, but all the variants are coming to stop them,
which I didn't know until somebody, one of my coworkers told me that Lady Pool was played by Blake Lively.
Shout out Blake Lively, yeah, and
that's so cute.
There was in the very beginning there was the reference to the show that she was in. Why am I drawing a blank at the name of the show now? He's like, there's 200 whatever bones in the human body, except for when you're watching was Gossip Girl, right? Gossip Girl.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. And then he says there's like one more. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, and I just like that. Yeah, he was able to just incorporate a lot of cool just cameos for his friends and family, just people like the other Deadpools who were his friends that people didn't even know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think Baby Pool was one of his kids' voices.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Baby Pool was very funny.
Baby Pool, I really liked the samurai guy.
The samurai one was cool too.
Yeah. But they show up to stop them, right? Because they're just
when Nice Pool gets lit up, it's so funny.
Yes, because Deadpool.
How long does it usually take you to regenerate?
Yeah, because Deadpool Prime is thinking, okay, every Deadpool has a healing factor, but nope, it's Nice Pool's the one Deadpool that's the power that he doesn't have. And
dude, Logan's reaction to that is so fucking funny too.
Yeah,
he's just you got this guy killed.
Yeah, and then his head gets blown off, and you're like, oh shit.
Awesome, fucking awesome.
But it was a funny way to kill off the character because he's Nice Pool. You don't want to be mean and intentionally kill him, but then
he sucked so much though.
Yeah, but it was just a cool way because Deadpool could have easily killed him, but
dude, when he calls him Van Wilder, very good.
Yeah, good callback to Van Wilder. Yeah, good movie.
Very good. The meta jokes in this were phenomenal, and I know people. I know people who wear Deadpool shirts and Deadpool hats are the most insufferable human beings on planet Earth. But
they can be, yes.
God damn, this movie's funny as fuck. Dude.
Yeah, but then we get in a very epic moment, right? Because Nice Pool dies, and then they're all right, we gotta fight off these all these other variants. And I was kind of tripping out. I'm where the fuck did he get this mask from, right? Because this is where Wolverine finally puts on his mask that we've been wanting to see forever. And I was he was just on the back of his costume the whole fucking time. I just didn't see it.
Just didn't notice it, yeah.
But yeah, then they get into this crazy.
Dude, I freaked out when he pulled the mask on.
Excuse me. Yeah, because it just looked so crazy. And it
looked fucking perfect, dude.
Yeah, because you got to think, how many X-Men movies did we get and we didn't get this costume? Because there was the one. Was it Wolverine Origins? There was some sort of post-credit scene where he gets a briefcase and he gets the yellow and brown costume, which was closer to just having a costume, because the X-Men movies, they wore these new weird costumes, not the traditional comic book costumes.
I honestly can't remember, and I'm gonna go ahead and confess a thing. I've still never seen The Wolverine.
Oh, really? You should watch it.
I've just heard it's bad.
No, I think all the solo Wolverine movies are badass.
The Wolverine Origins is not badass.
But is this my fanboy coming out?
It has a couple parts, but it has some really bad CGI in it.
Well, you did. So this was in the 90s.
I don't think it was. I think that was in the 2000s.
Was it early 2000s? I thought it was in the 90s. Maybe it was early.
No,
2000s.
It was definitely 2000s, because I think X-Men is 2000.
Let's see. Wolverine Origins. You're right. Holy fuck, 2009. Are you serious?
Yeah, I know. It was too late for it to look that bad.
Okay, all right. I didn't think it was that. 2009, I was already out of high school. That was
I kind of want to watch the Wolverine because I'm kind of on a wanting to watch all of James Mangold's movies lately.
Okay.
Because I really liked what he did with Logan, and he's got a new movie that's a biopic-ish or something about Bob Dylan. And I'm like a huge Bob Dylan fan, so I kind of want to see this. Timothy Chalamet's playing him in it. And it actually looks pretty good. And then I really liked Ford v Ferrari too. And there's a few movies I haven't seen. I heard The Greatest Showman like is good, but kind of doesn't paint what is it? Fucking Barnum, P.T. Barnum as like as shitty a person as he actually was. It's kind of a little too nice on him, but I like Hugh Jackman, so I might be down to watch that. But yeah, I've been thinking about revisiting James Mangold's films, so I do like all the ones that I've ever seen. So maybe I'll like the Wolverine. But I just heard it was bad.
You should just watch it.
Okay.
It's part of the legacy.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I should do it.
Okay. So he puts on the mask, and then
he puts on the mask.
Puts on the mask. It's just a big deal, and they have to fight through all these Deadpool variants, which is cool.
It rocks ass, dude. It's very sick.
Yeah, because this time, right? Because we got these two epic fight scenes of them fighting each other, but now it's like a team up. They're like, all right, here we go. It's still Wolverine, going crazy on Deadpool, but just not Deadpool Prime.
Mm-hmm. And Deadpool going crazy on Deadpool, and he's going crazy on Deadpool. There's like so many parts where he's just like doing like Looney Tunes ass fucking shit to his other variants. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention he was so happy when Nicebull died because he got to take his golden Desert Eagles.
Yeah, that fucking rocked too. Very good. Yeah, dude, it's awesome. And then the whole like I loved it. It was fun. Then they go into the bus, and that's funny. For some reason, one of the Deadpools was driving the bus. That didn't make any sense, but it was cool. It was very funny. And then they do that superhero jump out the back, and then Deadpool falls, and that's awesome.
Yeah. And then you realize like, oh shit, they all have healing factors. So as they're all getting up, you're like, oh shit, they got to do it all over again
until
Peter
shows up, and every Deadpool has a Peter and loves him.
And okay, so I was watching a breakdown, and I didn't notice this on the watch through, so I was curious if you saw it, but apparently in that scene when Peter shows up, he has like a giant dick. Like you can see his
giant dick, dude. It's huge.
Okay, so
hacking.
So I missed that.
I don't see how you did, but I get it.
Okay, yeah. So apparently I missed that, and apparently that's why. A few scenes later when they're talking.
And she's like checking him out so hard.
Yeah, because awesome. At first I'm like, sense. Okay, she's really into his mustache, his hair, but then while watching the breakdown, they're like, no, she was really staring at his dick print, and I'm like, oh my god, like that. Okay, that makes way more sense to me.
That's so funny, dude. The heat between those two was unreal. I felt uncomfortable. Like they needed some privacy. I feel like I needed to leave the theater so they could have some privacy. But yeah, phenomenal. And then they have their dude, the really heartfelt moment where Logan's like, dude, I've got it, like I got nothing to live for, like you've got your people and yada yada. And then the way Deadpool pulls the switcheroo, and then that's the Superman flying next to the window. He does the walking down the stairs. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. It was phenomenal use of comedic inappropriateness. It was awesome.
Yeah, because he's just throwing in his face. He's like, I'm going to be the one to save everybody. But he comes to find out that he's not. His reach, his wingspan isn't enough to grab both of the cores. I'm trying to blank on the name of the machines.
Matter and antimatter.
Yeah. So you're obviously like Wolverine's like punching down the door, and he gets in there, and then they join. They lock arms, and they're able to generate enough power to stop Cassandra Nova from pruning all the timelines, because it was already starting to like spaghettify, right?
Yep. That in front of her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're leaving out a crucial detail.
Which detail? Oh, wait. Are you talking about when Wolverine's costume just gets torn to shit?
When huge Jack Man's costume explodes. Insane.
And you just see
I started laughing so fucking hard at that part. That was so fucking cool.
Yeah, they're like, here's an excuse to show off his awesome physique.
Just fucking rock, dude. So cool. That was badass.
Yeah. And in that moment, I didn't think it was going to be final for either of them because they have healing. So I was like, they're not going to die. Yeah. So I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, that would have killed anybody else, maybe.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, they're able to stop Cassandra. And those are her final moments. Which,
she gets whooped.
Yeah, which I'm like, okay. That's where I was happy. I'm like, finally.
You got to learn to love these villains, dude. You got to learn to love these villains. They're people too.
Some like I learned to love Loki because I hated Loki for a long time, but
Loki's incredible. But Loki's a hero.
Well, now it took him till he had to get his own series.
Yeah, I love some of the villains. I love Killmonger.
Yeah, he had it rough. I
love Killmonger. I'm trying to think of who else.
Yondu.
Yes, yeah. I love Yondu.
Yeah,
straight up. But also Yondu turns out to be a hero. I don't know, man. I guess no, you're right. I don't really love that many. I felt way more compassion towards Cassandra Nova than I did towards a lot of. But I do feel it for X-Men villains typically.
Okay,
I feel a lot more empathy towards X-Men villains. I get it. I mean, I love Magneto.
I hate seeing him and Charles fight. It's like mommy and daddy fighting. And I'm just like, oh god, I love both of these guys because I can see both perspectives, you know.
Yeah, I mean there are some pretty unsympathetic villains in the Marvel movies, but there are some that are really good, and those are the ones that I like the most. I liked Gore.
Gore, the God Butcher.
I loved Gore.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even really like that movie that much. I liked it more than you did, but
yeah.
I hated the what was the dude in Guardians? What was that fucker's name?
Ronan? Not Ronan.
No, I hated Ronan. But
oh wait, Ego? Not Ego, not his dad.
No, I hated Ego too because he sucked. But I liked him as a villain. But no, what's the fucking the designer, the fucking goddamn it, what's that freak's name? In the last Guardians movie?
The last Guardians. It's been so long.
I know it's been way too long. It's like the fucking this is great audio.
Oh, the High Evolutionary.
The High Evolutionary. Yeah, really hated that guy.
God.
But anybody who's like torturing animals.
Yes, because that's when we find out Rocket's origin. And
yeah, fuck you. Yeah, there's lines, but I didn't think Cassandra Nova crossed any lines. She seemed pretty. She seemed like a victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
She got pruned when she was a baby. Oh, fucking Sylvie.
Sylvie. Nah, I hate Sylvie.
I love Sylvie.
I hated her. I still hate her.
I love Sylvie. I think Sylvie's one of the best characters in the MCU. She grew up in war zones. She grew up in apocalypses. She grew up in end of times.
Yeah, but she was
always.
I just hated that she was just not wanting to help Loki until that one moment where like her timeline was getting spaghettified, and she's like, "Oh shit, I gotta go help because I'm about to get lost." Because
she just wanted a regular life, dog. Come on.
Yeah, but you can't have a regular life when you know what she knows.
I would love if I could afford to just work at a McDonald's and go somewhere and listen to Velvet Underground and chill the fuck out and not have to worry about my whole universe disappearing after having a lifetime of pain and torture and running. I would love to just that be my simple life.
Yes.
But then when your whole world starts disintegrating, you got to go, okay, well, I guess I'll try to do the thing to make it so that other people can work at McDonald's and listen to Velvet Underground.
Yeah, that's not her luxury to have. Even though she wants it, I get it, but that's not her role. And she knows
She
it.
didn't ask for this dog.
She didn't, but neither did anybody else.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I'm just not a fan of hers. I like Loki. Loki Prime is my favorite Loki.
Sylvie is, I think, one of like literally a top 5 MCU character for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think she plays the fuck out of that character, and yeah, very good. But
so
back to Peter and what's homegirl from the TVA's name again?
Like,
I can't remember. Hunter B-15.
Like, yeah, it was like I was like B-52, but that's the band. B-15.
B-15 gives fuck me eyes to Peter, and then lets them.
But she comes in because she has to regulate, right? Because she got like a promotion from like the last time we saw her, and she's like, "Yo, like there's like a rogue TVA agent pulling some fucking."
Yeah, she lays it down on Paradox, and
yeah, and he tries to play victim. I hated that when he was trying to play victim, trying to blame it on Cassandra Nova.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
that was incredibly British of him. But yeah, dude. What did you not like about this movie?
No, I know,
I'm joking. Yeah. I'm joking. You were just coming in today. You were like,
because I wanted to walk away and be like, oh shit, we got the Galactus post-credit scene. We got the Doctor Doom post-credit scene. Or
they didn't know they were going to do any of that shit when they shot this movie.
No, they didn't.
They didn't know. They were pretty sure. I bet they were pretty sure that Kang wasn't going to be the villain moving forward. So they knew. They were like, we can't do anything yet.
Yeah.
We just got to do a really funny single post-credit scene. But
there are some, loose ends. Like, remember when he first went to the TVA and there's the TV screen showing him dying and Thor is holding him, and he's like, "Hey, wait, what's that?" Crying? And then he's like, Paradox or something goes like, "Fast forward it, like it's too soon."
Get that off the screen. Why is Thor? But why was Thor crying? That's so good. That was awesome. I really liked this,
but
and
that wasn't the end, right? So he goes back to his apartment with Wolverine,
dude. And you know what that reminded me of? So at the end of you've seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, haven't you?
No.
Steve Martin and John Candy, dog. What are you doing?
Okay,
are we the same age?
I'm watching different stuff.
Are we the same age? You've never seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
No.
You need to watch this movie. It's like one of like the classics.
The classics? Okay.
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure it's a John Hughes film. I'm pretty sure John Hughes made Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's in a run of movies that it's a run of movies that John Hughes made. I'm pretty sure. Fuck me. Goddamn Google. The internet just doesn't work anymore. Have you noticed this?
It just depends.
I legitimately tried to look up before we got on this podcast, like quotes from Deadpool so we could like read some of the funny things because it was just impossible. Yeah, John Hughes wrote and directed Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But I tried to look up just like quotes from this movie, and I went to like a couple websites, and they were so hard to navigate or look at because just every website is just like fucking ads and just really, really like you just can't navigate anything anymore. It's great. We're doing great. John Hughes did 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That was in a run. That was like every year.
I've seen all those movies except for the one you want me to see. Yeah,
84, 16 Candles, 85, Breakfast Club, and Weird Science, 86, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 87, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You need to see it, dude. It's great. So it's like one of the best Steve Martin performances, period. But I'm not going to tell you how it's like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles because it will ruin Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for you now.
Okay.
But for everybody else, the end of Deadpool was like that.
Yes, and that's where so they're in the apartment, and that's where we see Dogpool and X-23 is there.
Yes.
So
and everybody's so happy.
Yeah, everybody's happy. And I was just glad to know that the others survived that battle.
Me too.
There was no sign of Elektra, Gambit, or Blade, but if Laura survived, that means they all survived.
And I was really happy to see Wade and Vanessa start to rekindle. I just want him to be happy, man.
Yeah, and I
want
like
him to feel like he's enough. Because that's the thing. That was what she was telling him, is he was enough, but it was what he was, the things he was putting on himself was getting in the way of their being happy.
Mm-hmm. And that's why he wanted,
so real.
He was okay to try to live a civilian life, but but that's not the case.
I mean, he wasn't okay to try to live a civilian life. He felt very unfulfilled by that, and that's what made their relationship stop working. Is because he was too defeated. He wasn't himself anymore. Which that shit is so real. That was the thing that made Deadpool incredibly relatable in this movie. Is his coping with inadequacies.
Yeah, and it's like this is someone with like superpowers.
Mm-hmm. They're just like us for real.
Yeah, and post-credit scene, which was very validating because
that shit was so funny, dude.
Because after Johnny Storm got killed, Wolverine is putting it on him, like, "Yo, like you're the reason why
you got that sweet young man killed."
Yeah, and then he even tells like Elektra and Blade that it was Deadpool's fault that their teammate got murdered. And
it's awesome too because Deadpool tries to act like they never met him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's this guy? Johnny? What?
Yeah. But it's funny because the post-credit scene is him kind of clearing his name. He shows security footage of their conversation on the way to the compound to go meet Cassandra Nova for the first time, and then it shows Johnny Storm just sure enough giving all those insults to
more.
And so it's just very validating that Deadpool was directly quoting Johnny Storm, and he deserved that death, and it was all his fault and not Deadpool's.
Yeah, it's very good. I'm trying to. Okay, so I've got on IMDb. I've got pulled up Deadpool quotes.
Okay. From
the movie, and I want to go over a few of them that were so good, dude. When he says, "Welcome to the MCU," you're joining at a bit of a low point.
I felt that. I felt that.
Did.
Yeah. Because it's true.
Oh my God, dude. When he says that's Wolverine, he says, "You're damn straight it is. Disney brought him back. They're going to make him do this till he's 90. And then later, whenever he's like back in, he leans over to him. He goes, "Till you're 90. Awesome.
Yeah, because he's pretty old, but he looks good for his age.
Yeah, there are 206 bones in the human body. 207 if I'm watching Gossip Girl. That was that one. That was good. God damn, I'm trying to. Dude, when Blade says "I don't like you" and he says "you never did," dude, because on Blade Trinity, Wesley Snipes fucking hated Ryan Reynolds.
I didn't know that they had a beef.
No, they didn't have a beef. Ryan Reynolds was fine. Wesley Snipes hated him.
Mm-hmm.
Because Wesley Snipes is like incredibly serious. Like, do you know like the behind the scenes on Blade Trinity?
No.
At that point, Wesley Snipes and the director, well, actually, no, I'm going to call him Blade. At that point, Blade and the director didn't get along at all. And they only communicated Wesley Snipes only communicated to the director through Post-it notes signed Blade.
Jeez.
From himself in character. That was the only way he would. And like, he was like just incredibly hard to deal with on that movie, apparently. And he hated Ryan Reynolds because Ryan Reynolds was always ad-libbing and like throwing in jokes. And Wesley Snipes was like, we're here to do a job. Like you need to take this seriously. And Ryan Reynolds was having to be like, I am. This is what they hired me to do in this movie. I'm so sorry you hate it. But yeah, that was an incredible line for Blade to say, "I don't like you," and Ryan Reynolds to say, "You never did." That was legit. That was fucking legit. Oh my god. Yeah, dude, fucking fantastic. Okay, here's one of the jokes that did not land for me.
Okay.
The cocaine jokes with Blind Al.
Oh, where he's just like, oh, they knew all the names. Yeah. I didn't think that was funny.
I didn't think that was funny at all. That was one that I watched and I was like, or watching it, I was like, that was in the trailer. And honestly, that was one of the things that made me feel like, oh my god, there's another fucking thing in this. There was another thing in the movie that was very similar to something that happens in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but you won't get it.
I won't get it.
You won't get it. It's awesome though. The line was, "Want to talk about it? What's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?" That was the line in the diner, and that's what happens. There's a third act flashback. Oh man, yeah, no, dude, it was very good. This was a very funny movie. Yeah, who's your accent coach? The Minions, great. Just a lot of great lines in this movie, man. What's your superpower? Is it parallel parking? Yeah, it was a fun movie. Would watch again.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to watching it again.
Oh
But
yeah.
So
what's been going on with you other than this right now?
Wait, hold on. Before we get to that, future of the MCU next year.
Dude, I'm actually excited for Captain America. I know people are saying it's like tested badly or whatever. Seeing the trailer for the first time before Deadpool, I'm game.
They showed I didn't get that trailer.
You didn't get the Captain America trailer? It looks fucking sick.
Damn. The movie's not supposed to come out until next year. They showed a trailer?
They showed a trailer, yeah.
That's crazy. No.
Red Hulk catches the shield and fucking sends it straight into the ground.
Okay, now I gotta go seek out this trailer.
It looks pretty sick.
But next year we get...
They're not being weird about Harrison Ford being Ross either. They're just like kind of just like being like, he's Ross. Let's fucking keep it moving.
We get three films next year, which is 2 more than this year.
I mean, I believe it, dude. The writer's strike fucked everything up, and all of this production hell for Blade. I mean, we should have got Blade this year if things were happening on time.
True. And then also Jonathan Majors.
There it is. Unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah.
Fuck things up.
So next year we just get Captain America, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four.
Which is going to be 2 incredibly street level movies, I feel like, or like global espionage movies, and then an actual superhero movie. Yeah,
which I'm stoked for because I feel like Captain America, long overdue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still on the fence about Thunderbolts.
We're going to get Red Hulk in it, though.
Yeah,
that was your worry. That was your worry, and it's gonna happen.
I'm not saying anything bad.
Unless Harrison Ford dies before he gets to film it.
I'm just on the fence, and then
don't let this man near any planes.
And then I'm extremely excited for Fantastic Four because
Me too, man.
My entire life, because like growing up, before I would go to like the bus stop to ride the bus to elementary school. Before Pokemon, the cartoon that I would watch, depending on what would come on TV, depending on the network, it was either Iron Man or Fantastic Four. So that's what I would watch every morning before school for so many years. And those are my early years of being a fan of these characters, and just just growing up and having to deal with these like subpar Fantastic Four movies. I did enjoy the last one, even though it was very controversial with the director and the whole editing shit, whatever. I was just like, all right, it's not that bad. But now I was like, all right, I always thought to myself, if we could ever get a Fantastic Four MCU film, that's when people would finally put like respect on like Fantastic Four as like a movie. So I'm hoping that this is finally going to be that moment next year.
Dude, the cast is incredible.
Yeah, like, I just wish they would have got Jim Halpert.
Yeah, I'm fine with Pedro Pascal, dude. And Vanessa Kirby, have you seen the last couple Mission Impossible movies with her in them?
No, I've only seen Mission Impossible 3.
You only see? Holy shit! Well, I mean, if there's one to see, it's that one. You should do a Mission Impossible ride, dude. They're great.
Okay. I should. And honestly, the only reason why I watched 3 is because they filmed some parts of it out in Palm Springs. So that was like the big talk around town. Like, ooh, like Mission Impossible's filming out here. So,
dude, at some point, if we've got a break between some MCU movies, we should watch all the Mission Impossibles and talk about them.
I'm down. Cause dude, we have a break. We have until Captain America 4.
Well, we'll do Echo. We'll do Echo next month. And then, is there any other MCU things we're missing right now besides Echo?
No.
And Madam Web?
Yeah, that's it.
Which isn't MCU, but
loosely.
Let's go. Let's go.
We have to.
Let's fucking go. Because, dude, I'm actually pretty stoked. I forgot Joseph Quinn was playing Johnny Storm. We went and saw the new Quiet Place movie, and he's fucking awesome in it.
Was it good? I didn't watch it.
It's really good. It's pretty fucking sad. It's cool. It was we both cried, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I mean I'm pretty sure Ashton cried. I know I did. Oh damn it, I didn't realize Raymond from Cobra Kai is in Fantastic Four. That's awesome. Stingray, have you seen Cobra Kai yet?
Mm-hmm.
The Stingray guy?
Yeah, I know Stingray.
Are you caught up on Cobra Kai right now?
I was just gonna say I have not watched season 6, part 1.
Dude, it's fucked. It's kind of fucked up that they broke it up into pieces because it's really fucking good.
The other day I sat down to watch it and I was like, all right, like I'm gonna watch the recap just to refresh, even though like I love Cobra Kai. I got through the recap, but then Netflix just kept giving me an error. Sorry, we can't.
Weird.
Yes, and I tried it like 5 times. I had food ready. I was about to binge it, but Netflix just wouldn't let me play it. So
it's crazy. It's pretty good. And I remember that Evan Moss Backrack is in it, which I finally just looked up how to say that guy's name. Because have you watched The Bear yet?
No. Every time I see it getting all these accolades, I'm like, damn it, Tyler has told me to watch this movie or this show.
Yeah. You need to watch The Bear, especially before Fantastic Four comes out.
Okay.
You just need to watch it before Fantastic Four because the guy playing Ben Grimm is
in The Bear.
One of the best parts of it. He's one of the best parts of The Bear. Is his character. So very, very good. I didn't realize Natasha Lyonne and John Malkovich and Julia Garner. Did you watch Ozark?
Yes.
What? I didn't know Julia Garner was in this shit. That's crazy.
I don't know either.
I honestly like. I know you're not too excited about Thunderbolts. I'm pretty excited about all the movies that we're going to get next year, but
I'm just on the fence.
I'm way more excited about Fantastic Four than I already was.
Okay. Last thing on the MCU, I'm just very curious about your thoughts on them changing the title for Avengers and bringing Robert Downey Jr. back and the Russos coming back.
The Russos coming back, very cool.
Okay. I saw an article where that was one of Robert Downey Jr.'s stipulations. If he is going to come back, he wants the Russo brothers to do the Avengers movies, which is a good call. It's a good call.
It's a great call. I have faith that those will be good, and I'm kind of excited to see Robert Downey Jr. play a villain.
Yeah, because there was the line that they had to reiterate, like same task, a different mask, or a different mask, same task, whatever. I can't remember which order came in. And that's them referring to like, because they're talking about like, Kang versus Doctor Doom, just to kind of give some like reassurance. So I'm happy that Robert Downey Jr. is back because he's an amazing actor. I'm just curious to see how they're gonna write it in.
Yeah, I'm curious if we'll ever see him
without the mask.
Yeah, I'm curious if he'll just always be wearing the mask so that we'll never have to grapple with like it actually being Robert Downey Jr. We can view it as Doctor Doom and not Tony Stark.
Well, I think that's the big play, is that they're going to see their former friend, like another variant of Tony Stark, and be conflicted.
Become Doctor Doom? Oh.
Yeah, because there are a couple comic books where Doctor Doom and Tony Stark, they like
I know
mind swap.
I know there's comics where Doom kind of takes the place of Iron Man in the Avengers, right?
Mm-hmm. So,
regardless, I'm interested.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I would say. I'm excited, but I'm more than anything, I'm interested.
Yeah, because this is they killed off like probably like the most popular one of them all, but he's not coming back as Iron Man, which I'm happy about, because like they're not going to ruin. So
undo the effect. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, I'm sad for Kang, but it is what it is.
Yep. You got to keep moving, keep pushing.
And very interesting too at Comic-Con, no talk about Disney Plus, but allegedly they're saving that for D23, which is happening next month. So very curious to see if we're still going to get an Ironheart show, or see what new shows we're going to get, because I did feel like some sense of like happiness to be like, okay, like like when it was sitting in the theater and like you hear the music start and you see like the Marvel Cinematic thing start playing, you're like, okay, we're back, we're so back. And it's been so long since we've had
we're so back.
Yeah, because we haven't had a movie, we haven't had a TV series, so it was a nice time away, but I'm happy that the ball's slowly starting to move again.
Yeah, me too. I wish you'd gotten the Cap trailer, dude, because I was fucking reeling.
Maybe it was because I was at the Korean theater 4DX, and we only got 2 trailers. It was 2 trailers, and boom, the movie started.
Oh, dude, I go to AMC. They play so many goddamn trailers every time.
Okay.
AMC loves giving you trailers. You can basically show up 30 minutes late to your movie at AMC, and you're fine.
And you'll be good.
You'll be fine. Because they're gonna play a Coke ad, they're gonna play the please silence your phones ad, they're gonna play minimum 5 trailers, and you're gonna get hit with Nicole Kidman. You're gonna get hit with some other sort of like get you a Coke or a popcorn, and then the movie will start. 30 minutes, you're clear. I never worry about being late to a movie at the AMC.
Interesting. I'm always worried about the Korean theater because
we leave when our movie's supposed to start typically.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Can I tell you a moment about how I got sad the other night? I was at this K-pop concert, right? We're at the Crypto Arena in LA. It's like hella like K-pop idols, and I
would be sad at the Crypto Arena as well, but yeah, continue.
Night 3, where I was positioned, me and the homies, we were on the guardrail where the idols would walk out from like backstage to like the main stage, so we got to see everybody that came through. And there was this moment, because I totally forgot, because they had so many special guest hosts and MCs. And there was this moment where like, all right, who's coming out next? Even though like we had the whole schedule, because like we had somebody on the inside and they texted us like the entire breakdown of like who was coming out when. So like we were just like anticipating, because anytime like you would see like managers come out to like guide their artists to the stage, because every group had their own set of people to like kind of handle them.
Their team.
I'm sorry.
Their team.
Yes, their team. But so like we're looking at the schedule, right? Okay, this person should be coming out, this person should be coming out. But then it got to this point where we saw like a different team. And we're like, who the fuck is that? Like, who's coming out? And then just like out of the shadows, it's Aquafina. And all I could think about, because I totally forgot that she was going to be there. So the whole time, like, it just hit me. Where the fuck is Shang-Chi 2?
Dude, I'm fucking saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yo, there it is. Another villain I loved. His dad was phenomenal.
His dad, yeah.
His dad was phenomenal. I loved him. He was incredible. He was such a good villain. I cared for him. I was so unhappy with what was happening to him.
He's just fighting for love.
Yeah, just couldn't deal with the loss. Amazing.
But yeah,
fantastic.
Seeing her walk by, it just hit me. I'm like, where the fuck is Shang-Chi 2?
Dude, yeah. I'm saying. I'm right there with you. That's a missed opportunity, because that was one of the last Marvel movies that, like, I had no real expectation for. It blew me away.
And this is post Endgame too. You got to think, right? Post Endgame, new superhero.
Was that the second Marvel Talk episode we ever did?
I don't remember, if I'm being honest.
I think Black Widow was the first. And I can't remember if that was the next one that came out or not. I'm curious.
Okay. Last thing on the MCU. I'm just curious. Who do you think is the anchor being in the sacred timeline?
In the sacred timeline?
Yeah.
Because it's not Iron Man.
Yeah. Because he's dead and the timeline's still there.
Oh. Because it's not Cap.
It's not Cap, because he just pieced out.
He might still be alive, but he's...
Yeah. No, he's still alive.
Yeah, I'm saying, but like, no. I mean, he might still be alive, but he's like Joe Biden right now. He's quietly dropping out, stepping away from the office.
Okay. Who could it be?
Man, that's a good question. Because there's certain people I don't want it to be.
Like who?
I don't know. I don't want it to be Star-Lord. I don't want it to be I don't know. I don't want it to be like, I'm trying to think of who's... It's not T'Challa.
Yeah, definitely not T'Challa.
That was a horrible taste joke to make. I'm very sorry that I made that joke now, but I immediately feel very bad.
No, because we know it's not him, because he's dead and the timeline's still there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't know who you would even say like everything centers around or like depends on. Because they've really made I don't know, man. They've made, maybe it's people. No, because it would have to be somebody who didn't get blipped too. Or it could have been somebody who was blipped, and that's why it wasn't a problem for them to undo the blip.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Peter.
I was thinking Pepper Potts, but okay.
Oh yeah, Pepper Potts could be it.
Yeah.
That would low key make sense, because she is kind of still a string puller in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Nick Fury, maybe?
Fuck that pussy.
I know.
I hate him for...
Why did they make Secret Invasion, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. It just makes me hate him.
Why did they make Secret Invasion? They just fucked it all up, dude.
Yeah, it was
like
bad.
To make Secret Invasion and in the end, like, try to like do it as like, I don't. It's one of those things where I don't know. I watch so many like poison fucking internet videos. Like,
why?
I don't know. One of my favorite hobbies anymore is like watching all these like red pill YouTube shorts and like watching people just be like incredibly sexist or racist, or try to like, I don't know, like, do you know who Benny Johnson is?
No, I'm not familiar.
He's one of the worst individuals alive.
Okay.
But one of my favorite things lately is like watch his videos or like that whatever podcast clips, and then watch like somebody like ridicule a woman or like try to make some black person look ridiculous for just like having like a reasonable take on something, and then realizing like, damn, like I can watch that and get something completely different than like somebody who's like racist or sexist gets from that. Like they watch that shit and they get enraged and they're like, they feel like they're owning the libs or whatever. And I watch this and I'm like, damn, that person sounded completely reasonable to me. But Secret Invasion is like one of those things where it's like they should have made that and made you hate Nick Fury because he is like fucking everything up.
Mm-hmm.
But instead they showed you Nick Fury fucking everything up, but then at the end expected you to like him.
No, I still hated him. I'm like,
yeah, I hated him and I felt like offended that you're trying to get me to like him.
Yeah, because he's
like I just saw
horrible.
All the bad shit he did. I just saw all the careless things he did and how he didn't really like
help this entire race of people finding home.
He broke a lot of promises and like now he's like caused like a severe damage to a friend's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though there's a horrible meme of her with the fucking Drax arm, but like whatever, like her being like her having all that going on with her has fucked her life up
100%.
Like she is fucked because of what happened to her now, and she would not have had to go through any of that if Nick Fury had just been like solid on all of his promises. And that was another Marvel villain that I felt for. Can't remember guy's name, but dude from Secret Invasion wasn't wrong.
No.
A lot of things. Fuck Nick Fury.
Yeah, he got
got
greedy.
Him instead of Kobe Smulders.
He got greedy.
Well, no, I don't think Nick Fury got greedy. He just never. Well, and the thing is if they had made Secret Invasion have the point of, yes, this Nick Fury is America. He expects to be able to act with impunity and never have to face any repercussions for any of his actions, and he never will. But that wasn't the point they were actually making with that. But that was my takeaway from it. But it wasn't the takeaway they intended.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
it's probably Nick Fury.
The anchor being, oh my god,
it's probably Nick Fury, which just to piss both of us off.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll never know, which I think will be nice because I don't know if because when I was watching New Rockstars, they kept talking about there's going to be this collision course with Earth 1005, which is where Deadpool's from, and Earth 616, which is the Sacred timeline, and they're like, okay, this is how the universes are going to combine because it's going to lead to Avengers versus X-Men, which I think would be badass. That's like one of my favorite.
I wonder if Deadpool is in the universe that Maria Rambeau ended up in.
Yeah, she could be because that's where the X-Men are. So
yep,
that would be crazy. I just hopefully. Captain America post-credit scene. We get 3. Hopefully, this is me being greedy. Hopefully, we get 3, and we see more interactions with the X-Men and the current, Sacred timeline.
Would love that. I would love that.
Well, I've been looking forward to this for so long. So I'm happy that we were able to finally talk about some MCU. People have been wondering what happened to you because you're known as the most reoccurring guest on the JMRK podcast, which is
sorry,
true.
I've been so busy.
No, it's totally fine. I understand that you're busy, but I'm happy to have you here now because now we can talk about all the other things that you have going on. Inclination going to Japan, which I think is like one of the sickest things.
We're going to Japan. Also, I found out our Japanese thing was announced because you texted me.
Really?
Yeah, I find out so many things of ours get announced because you text me about it, and I'm like, oh, that's because there was something I can't remember what it was, but you texted me and you're like, oh, dude, that's congrats on so and so, and I went, oh, that got announced today. Who else is playing?
because you're so disconnected by
I'm
choice.
at work, dude. I don't
Yeah.
have the internet. I'm just tell me what's happening in my own life. But yeah, that's crazy. That started to feel real recently, which is like I had to finally tell work like a couple weeks ago because I've known like I can't remember who it was. I went through the whole like they were like, that's so sick about Japan. And I was like, here's the Japan thing. And I like went through and I was like, I'm gonna read you me and Caleb's texts from like the past few months. Because we don't text each other. Like I don't text with that many people in Inclination that often. Like I see him every now and then when like we have like little get-togethers or whatnot. But like just I don't have like I don't know, I don't text that many people or like have really like I'll text you every now and then we don't text for like a couple weeks after that. And it's like that's basically my communication with most people. But Caleb texted me and was just like Japan in September, and I went, yeah, I'm down. And then like a month or two later, I find out, yeah, it's actually happening.
That's wild.
Like I just no follow up, just like Japan in September ? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then no further contact with me about it. And then I find out later, like, oh yeah, it is actually happening. It's these dates and yada yada. Yeah, we'll be there for 6 days. I'm hoping we play. I've heard we're gonna play more than just that fest, but I don't know. Nothing's like exactly concrete, unless something else has been announced since the last time I was informed on things.
No, as far as I know, that's all that's there.
I will say about that though, and I texted Mike Shaw about it the other day. Whenever you texted me, I was like, oh, that's cool that got announced. And I was like, I bet Mind Force was playing. I just somehow knew. Without even looking, I knew Mind Force was playing. So I'm excited to do Japanese spin kicks to Mind Force.
And have you ever toured in Japan?
Nope, never been off the continent, guy.
Wow.
Yeah, I've only been to Canada. So I've been to Canada twice for Wild Rose and then those... that Calgary Fest and Canada tour that Constraint did.
Mm-hmm.
And then we played Hold Your Ground too. And then haven't been out of country since that summer that Inclination went to Wild Rose and then Constraint went to Canada. I haven't been out of the country since then. And then, now Japan.
Any expectations for like what the crowd's going to be like? Because, Inclination, bigger band, you guys are pretty popular. But like, do you have any idea what the Japanese fan base is like?
No, but I bet I'm going to be amazed at the moshing. That's what I anticipate, honestly. I anticipate probably being dumbfounded by the moshing.
Okay.
Maybe even enough to distract me while we're playing.
Well,
I'm excited to see tricks.
I was excited to know that you guys are doing that because I know how, like you guys aren't full time, right? So it's like I know you guys are very selective with what you do with Inclination. So when I saw Japan,
we're doing as much as we can. We're not selective as much as we're doing our best.
Okay.
We did finally play a show without Chris though, since he joined.
Who filled in?
Played what?
Who filled in?
Dewey from fucking, oh my god, I'm an asshole right now. Alabama straight edge band, No Cure.
No Cure,
Dewey
okay.
From No Cure, yeah.
Big
Dewey
band.
from No Cure filled in, and we flew him from Lubbock, Texas, to play with us, and it went good. So maybe we'll be playing more often without Chris because Harm's Way. Like I know. One of the reasons why our Japan thing has to end when it is because actually, I don't know if I can say it out loud. I don't know if it's been announced. Harm's Way is doing like a really big tour in September. I don't know if it's announced yet, but we
you got to be back.
Really glad I don't want to ruin that. If you know, you know, and if it is announced, well, then that's really cool for Harm's Way to get that opportunity. But yeah, Chris has got to go join that tour. So maybe we'll be playing without Chris a little bit more. I know we are going to Japan without Isaac. So
no Isaac.
Yeah, Austin's going in his place.
And he's the one, but Isaac's the one that hit you up about it.
No, Caleb's the one.
Oh, Caleb, excuse me. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Isaac.
apparently we can't talk about Japan in front of Isaac. It makes him sad. And part of me and my ego thinks that Isaac's just sad because he's not going to see me in another country. Because I know that would entertain him to no end, to see me in another country being just out in the wild. They talked about getting me one of those backpack leashes to wear.
So you don't get lost.
So I don't get lost. And I told him I would wear it. They got me like a little Pikachu fucking backpack leash. I'd wear that shit. That would fucking rock. But yeah. Yeah, I'm really stoked for that. And then other than that, I mean, Inclination, we might write new songs this year. We were supposed to, but now it's almost August and we haven't yet. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But Isaac could just decide to write one weekend and write a bunch of new songs. And
what about like lyrics? You got like lyrics stashed away, or
I got lyrics stashed away for days, my guy. I got an entire another LP written if we ever decide to do it.
Okay. You guys are headed to Tulsa.
Yes, we are doing Flyover, which I'm excited about that. I saw that sold out, which is crazy. I think that's the first year this fest is sold out.
I feel like it's like they were just like this regional fest, but now they're just like, I feel like in the upper echelon with
the last 2 years it stepped up significantly.
Yeah.
And even the years when it was like a more like subdued fest, still so fun. When it was Promcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it was Promcore, Constraint played. We covered Biohazard. Nobody knew it, but kids moshed and it was fun. And then we played when it was Act Like You Know the next year. And I wish I'd gone last year because it did look fun. And I haven't seen Spine in so long. I would have loved to see Spine. But yeah, this year with the Nachos and the Incendiaries, and is Mind Force playing that too?
Yes, Mind Force is playing.
Dude, I'm gonna see Mind Force so much this year. It's sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it'll be fun. It's a great lineup this year. I'm trying to remember everybody else who's playing.
You have to watch my friends in Otis VCR. They're a local.
I remember you mentioning them.
Yeah, they're a local band from out there, and then there's another band, the homies from the Twin Cities, Out for Blood. They actually just toured through here, which is awesome to see a band like that touring through the West Coast. And Free for All. Shout out to the homies in Free for All. But yeah, awesome lineup. Shout out to
fucking Gag too. I'm
Gag?
very excited.
Yeah, shout out to the homies in Gag.
Yes, I'm excited to see Joey and Casey. It's been a minute.
Combust. They're about to do a sick tour with Terror and Nasty. And they're working on a new record. So
that's awesome. Yeah, that fucking gig we played on Long Island with Combust was fucking badass. Looking at the lineup now, Healing Flesh. Okay, I was gonna say, what's this font I can't read? I am excited to see Fury. I haven't seen Fury since they've been back. Pretty sure Direct Measure is that's St. Louis.
yes.
Excited for D Block. Oh, I didn't realize CMI is playing. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Domain and Dose. I'm excited that some LDV bands are playing.
Shout out Florida. Shout out Iowa.
Yeah, I'm excited to see MAD. I really like that last record that MAD did.
Shout out Mad.
Ozone was one of my favorite sets at Act Like You Know, so I'm very excited to see Ozone again.
Texas.
Those dudes are really fucking nice. I got to see Torture at the Rumble, and I don't get it. It is cool, and I'm just glad the kids are having fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I feel about Torture.
Okay.
I kept looking at the person next to me and saying, I'm just glad the kids are having fun. Because kids were being absolute psychos doing that shit. It was cool. Prevention will have probably the set of the day, though. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Yeah, shout out Springfield. That band is so sick.
Yeah, Prevention will crush. Feel bad for whoever's playing before or after them. Slug. I'm really excited to see Slug again. They played Act Like You Know the year we played, and that was fucking awesome.
Shout out Ohio, right? They're from Ohio.
Yes. Columbus or Cleveland, I can't remember. But my favorite band on this fest, I think, fucking Bad Beat.
Bad Beat, awesome record that they put out.
Bad Beat is so good, dude. It's so cool. Yeah, no, I'm very excited, and I'm excited to see Nachos again, dude. I got to see him at Tied Down, and perfect. Got to see him at the Rumble, very fun. Yeah, I'm gonna mosh a lot at this thing. I'm gonna be putting in some work.
You always do. Yeah, I saw you in some video. I'm like, oh shit, Tyler's there.
Where?
I think it might have been Tied Down.
Oh yeah, I was moshing a lot at Tied Down, dude. I think I had a 68%. I think that's what I ended up walking away with.
Wild.
Yeah.
Want to talk to you about the label. There's a new band on the label, Ultimatum.
Ultimatum, yes.
How did that come about?
I tried to do a record for Broken Vow, but then they that was when that was like right before they got picked up by NMZ.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that happened, I was like, okay, if they do anything else, they're going to go bigger than us. There was like a second where like maybe I would have done vinyl for their split. And I've just been trying. I basically told those kids like, yo, if you guys are ever doing anything and it doesn't really have anybody like interested or buzzing around, like really throw it my way. Cause I like Evan, I like Tommy, I like, you know, all those kids a lot. And then Evan sent me the Ultimatum stuff and was like, would you have any interest in this? And Nick Bertles has been like legit like an OG mail order kid for LDV stuff since probably when the Inclination record came out. I've been mailing stuff to Nick Bertles before I knew him. So finding out like he was in the band too, it's vegan straight edge 90s worship. That's my fucking shit, dude. So I was game for it. And then I did get them on that show on Long Island that we played when Scanlon hit me up about who we would be interested in playing with. I was like, I mean, whoever you think would be good. And I was like, but if you are looking for like another band, like there's a straight edge band from Connecticut that would be cool. And he reached out to them and got them on the show, which was, I mean, that was one of my favorite shows I've played in a while, with Private Mind and Combust and Ultimatum. So yeah, I'm stoked on it. It's political straight edge. It's everything that I think that straight edge bands should be. It's writing songs about real deal issues, and Caesar, who sings in that band, has a really great head on his shoulders, and all those kids mosh a lot. So you know what? There it is. It's the most important things for me for a band I want to work with, is that they're people who are actually contributing to hardcore more than just playing in a band. They actually go to shows. They actually book shows and go to shows they're not playing, and I don't know, act the way that I act at shows, which is refreshing to me.
And vinyl's in stock right now.
Vinyl's in stock right now. The fuck thing is I had to get replacement covers printed because the covers got goofed up and didn't get insides printed on them. So if anybody wants to pick up that record, it would be great, because I've spent more money on it than I expected to.
That's awesome. I love Ultimatum. Fan of the band. Nick Bertles been on the podcast before. Evan's been on the podcast before. Nick Bertles actually been on the podcast soon. That's all I can say. But he'll be on soon.
Dude, he's the fucking man. And I stayed up so late talking to him at Tied Down, because we stayed with all the Ankle Biter crew whenever we went to Tied Down.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed at their Airbnb, so it was really nice getting to talk to the children, get to hang out with the youth. And,
yeah, shout out Ankle Biter, doing sick shit.
Yeah, they are. They're. I'm curious because I think I really hope people are appreciating Ankle Biter, because I don't think Ankle Biter is a band that's going to be long for this world. Yeah, like I think they're going to do the band for like, you know, the another record in like maybe another year or two. And I think they're going to do what all the bands that they sound like did, which was play for a little while and stop.
Yeah. Anklebiter touring out here very soon. So
yes, take advantage of getting to see that band, because I have a feeling they're going to be one of those bands that when they're gone, people are going to wish they were still playing. Just like all the bands they're influenced.
100%. Okay. And you have a show this week. It'll have happened by the time this episode drops, but your thoughts? Are you excited? Nervous?
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't seen Fiddlehead play a show yet.
Oh, really?
I've only seen Fiddlehead play fests. I've only seen them on Sound and Fury and LDB twice, and that might be it. I might have only seen Fiddlehead 3 times. So I'm very excited to play. Walk Alone's playing with them, and Gel and Millie. I haven't heard Millie.
I'm not familiar.
Okay, cool. I'm not the only one then. I'm assuming it's going to be like alt rock stuff. I think it's kind of, or like, you know, that kind of hardcore adjacent stuff. But because I did look at their Spotify, but I just didn't have the spoons to push play for some reason. Because I think it's kind of like a split bill, sort of like half fast hardcore, half hardcore adjacent stuff. So I'm excited. I haven't seen Gel in a while too, so I'm stoked to see them. I think Gel is very good. Out of the like describe bands like that as like you just opened the packaging hardcore. It's just you opened the package, you bought hardcore, and it's exactly what you bought. It's not missing any pieces yet. It's not the arm hasn't broken off of it yet. Like, it's just straight down the fucking middle, fast pitch hardcore, and that's cool. It's cool that a band like that is getting that much love and attention, because bands that sound like that typically don't get love like that. So you've got to do something like more mass appealy to appeal to the masses, and it's very cool. But yeah, I am a little nervous, but I mean, mostly because we're playing with Jim Barron on drums, and I haven't seen him behind the kit in years. So
Jim Barron, how was Two Witnesses at the Rumble?
There were all of the good moshers were moshing. I'll say that, but they played early, and it was, the crowds at the Rumble were like fleeting at times. Like, there were definitely bands that like got like way more eyes than other bands.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it really sucks that fest has to be outside. Honestly, it would be way better if it could have been, if the Metro was cool with doing no barricade, which apparently they're not anymore. It would be way better in a venue like that, where things can be kind of squished in and contained a little bit more. Just when shit's outside, people stand so fucking far away.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fucking embarrassing, because I'm in my mid 30s, and I stand within 5 to 10 feet of the stage always.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's where you stand. If you're going to participate in hardcore, that's where you're standing. The idea of standing 60 feet from the stage when I could stand closer is just, that just doesn't fucking compute to me at all. Yeah, they were good. I was singing along. I was moshing a lot. I was very hot. Moshing in the sun sucks. I don't see how people do that shit at Sound and Fury. Fucking crazy. I would drink so much water. But yeah, no, the Rumble was fun. I hadn't seen Modern Life is War since they broke up, so that kind of meant something to me. And I hadn't seen HopeCon in 19 years. So,
jeez, that's a long time.
I think 19. I was 19. So 17 years ago is when I saw HopeCon.
Yeah, I used to work with one of the guitar players of Modern Life is War, which is pretty funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like merch company. It was so funny because he was like the most like unassuming dude, and I didn't know he played in the band until somebody brought it up. They're like, hey, that guy played in Modern Life is War, and we're like, that
That's
guy.
funny. I wonder which one it was.
I don't want to say his name publicly, but I'll tell you off air.
Gotcha. I'm just trying to think of. I don't think I knew. I don't know any of the names of the guitar players in Modern Life is War. I just know what one of them looks like because I talked to him for a second after their set. That pretty much I walked up to him. I was like, yo, I was like, it was really cool seeing you guys. I was like, the reason I'm good at stage diving was because of all the times I saw Modern Life is War when I was like 19 and 20. That was like truly like when I learned how to do like the psycho stage dives I do. Which was cool because I got to do one during their Black Flag cover at the Rumble. There weren't very many successful stage dives at the Rumble. People really, really do not know how to get up close for a stage dive.
Yeah, and was it on asphalt or?
Oh yeah, I saw several people dive directly to the fucking.
Jeez, yeah, that'd be like my first sign to not stage dive. It's like, this is asphalt, and nobody's gonna catch me.
Dude, I've seen some truly suicidal dives lately. A girl at the Rumble jumped and people like caught her by her like arms and legs, and she dove directly headfirst off the stage. People caught her by her arms and legs, so she was like dangling.
About to go face
like,
first.
Her face was like dangling towards the ground. It was nuts. And then later on, I saw that girl get her nose broken so fucking hard.
How?
What?
How?
Punched.
She got just took one straight to her noggin.
She got fucking rocked. I think it was during Waking the Cadaver.
What a weird band.
Or Train of Thought. I can't remember. It was one of the two.
Is there a real audience for Waking the Cadaver in 2024? Oh, yeah. Really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. No disrespect. I'm just curious.
Oh yeah. They were one of the only like legit fights that happened that weekend was during Waking the Cadaver.
Yeah. Yeah. The one time I was supposed to see them, this was back, I don't even know what year, it had to been like 2005, 2006. They played this place in Rialto called the RMC, and it was like the guy who booked the shows there he'd always book fest. It'd always be like 10, 12 bands. Like, it was always fucking crazy long ass days. And at that show, Waking the Cadaver was slated to headline, and earlier in the day, some of my friends beat up just some random guys that were just not your typical like hardcore kids. Just like, they were there for Waking the Cadaver. Friends beat them up. They got pissed, so they left. And I didn't know this happened because I was outside just like talking with some friends. So we see like two dudes storm out like pretty pissed, and then we see them come back, and they came back with bear mace, and they like zip tied the bear mace, chucked it in the venue, so the entire venue got bear maced. And
holy shit.
Yeah, and they took off, and me and my friends, we didn't know what was happening until the entire venue was emptying out and everybody was like coughing and screaming, and it just fucked up the show. The show had to end, obviously, and Waking the Cadaver didn't get to play. And that was the only night that I was able to see them, because they played in like Fullerton and somewhere else, I can't remember, but I wasn't able to make those dates, so I never got to see Waking the Cadaver because my friends beat up these two random dudes who ended up bear macing the entire venue.
That's fucking psycho.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, well, I did get to see Waking the Cadaver, and I never thought that would happen for me.
That's crazy. Where are they from? I don't even know where the fuck they're from.
I don't know either. I don't know anything about them except for Seth from Gates loves them. Okay.
Shout out Seth.
They're one of their like biggest influences on guitar.
Okay.
And I can hear it. While I was watching him, I was like, I can kind of hear how Gates is pulling from this.
Yeah.
And Jim Barron dared me to mosh to it.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Damn. And shout out Gates. Gates is, I feel like, just ever growing, still getting big, touring.
Yeah, they played here on my birthday. And at that show, I saw another suicidal stage dive during Gates to Hell. Some girl did a flip off the stage, but she didn't. She just kind of jumped like a torpedo hands at her sides, just jumped head first towards the ground, and people happened to catch her and flip her with their hands.
What is going on? That's crazy.
So they like made her flip onto the ground.
Which I'm sure probably hurt worse than she would have just hit the ground.
Oh no! They like flipped her and like set her. On her feet.
Right. Oh wow! I thought she like that's crazy.
No, they made her flip happen. If they weren't there, she would have dove directly onto her neck.
Been paralyzed.
Maybe. It's crazy. Kids are insane. Like, I think I'm crazy the way I act at shows, and then I see how careless some people are with their safety, and I don't know. Someone's gonna die at a show soon.
Well, I hope I'm not there.
Yeah, I should knock on some wood after that show. Please.
Yeah, when I was younger, I would want to run and jump and front flip as high as I could off the stage. That was my stage diving tactic. But now it's just like I don't even think about stage diving. I'm like, I'm gonna lose my glasses, my keys. Am I gonna break my leg or something?
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think about very many things, but I know how I need to do a flip. If nobody catches me, I'll be kind of okay.
Okay.
And I know how I kind of can dive certain ways onto how many people are there to be okay. But that's through like extensive research.
Yeah, I still get a little nervous, but sometimes I just feel it. Like when I was when I was at LDB for the first time, when Weapon X was covering First Blood, I just jumped. I saw
you get out there.
I was like, I can't control myself. As much as I wanted to not mosh, I was like, I cannot not do it to this. This is insane.
Yeah, you were one of like the 20 people who were stoked about that.
It's okay.
That's about how many people I would have expected to be stoked on a First Blood cover in 2024.
Where is First Blood? Sometimes I'll randomly think about how I convinced Carl from First Blood to do my podcast, and he told me that they were going to break up in 2022, and I told him that I hope that they didn't, and here we are in 2024, and I don't think they ever broke up. Maybe I should reach out to him again. I don't know if he would. I don't even know how I convinced him to do it, but he did it. Shout out to Carl from First Blood. That was an awesome and like one of the coolest conversations that I've ever had. Just because I loved, like, my first memories of Carl was him playing in Terror, and then this was like when First Blood was still like a part-time band. They only had like the demo. I was like, oh, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, they only had the demo. They only had the best thing they did. No offense, but it's great.
I did the audio on the demo is just so fucking raw and just something awesome about it.
It's hardcore, dude.
Yeah,
it's great.
The first time I ever saw them, they played a matinee show. It was Terror, Piece by Piece, First Blood, and there's another band. I think they're called like Angels Die or something. I can't remember, but it was them. It was a matinee show at the Knitting Factory, and it was crazy because it was the first matinee show that I'd ever gone to. And I remember we walked out. We're in Hollywood. It was like 4 p.m. and we're like, what do we do? Like normally when we get out of shows, we have to drive like 2 hours back home because we have to go to school or work the next day. But it's like 4 p.m. Like we went and ate at like Hooters. It was so cool. It was such a crazy and fun day.
That's sick. How was Piece by Piece of that show?
It was crazy. I'll never forget, like, some giant fat dude stage dove, and I felt like he broke my neck because he landed right on top of me. I was like, this is fucking crazy. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was
dude,
like,
I fucking love Piece by Piece so much.
Yeah, they're sick. They're one of those bands when they pop up out here, it's like you have to see them because they're so like, rare. So rare these days.
Yeah, fucking Corey Williams, dude, what a fucking guy.
Yeah, he always seemed scary to me. I remember just like
he's always been scary to me, and then he was really nice to me when we were out there for the children. I was incredibly pleased to have a very nice conversation with him. He was so nice. He gave me he tried to give me a copy of their discography, and I was like, I already have it, but I will take the special cover, and I will go put it on the one I have at home.
Shout out to For the Children. They just had their first announcement today.
Oh shit! I didn't even see. Well, I haven't been on the internet all day. Who's playing?
Here, let me pull. There's a bunch of bands. Let me pull up the announcement. This is announcement 1. I don't know how many there's going to be.
Damn, I want to come back to California so bad.
Okay, so announcement 1 is Gorilla Biscuits, 100 Demons, Mind Force, Comeback Kid, One King Down, Never Ending Game, On Broken Wings, Big Boy, Torture, Human Garbage, No Way Out, Hold My Own, Peace of Mind, Ends of Sanity, God Awful, Final Resting Place, which I'm excited about, and Hereditary. Shout out San Diego.
Dude, that's it. You don't need to announce any more bands.
Yeah, when I saw 100 Demons, I was like, okay, cool. 100 Demons. Last time I saw 100 Demons was at For the Children, like 2016. There was supposed to be a new record. I don't know where that new record is. I hope it's coming soon, but I love 100
I don't
Demons.
think I've heard that they were doing new music.
Okay, so check this out. For the Children, 2016. I'm standing in the crowd, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna play a new song that's off the new record that's gonna come out." And this giant brawl breaks out, and then I'm like trying to get away from it because I don't know who's fighting. I don't know why they're fighting, but it's getting pretty hectic in there. But that's what I really remember is that they said that there's gonna be a new album, and I was like so stoked because I fucking love 100 Demons. But then it never came.
Dude, was it Pete 100 Demons then?
Yes.
The Superior 100 Demons.
I like both. I've seen both. I like both. But I agree.
Pete is the Superior 100 Demons because the self-title is the Superior 100 Demons record. And I like As the Lord, but it's only got half as good many songs as the self-title does, in my opinion.
Okay.
Dude, at 100 Demons at Tied Down, I realized during their set, because going into their set, I was like, God damn it, I'm gonna have to be head on a swivel the whole time, so scared, because I remember seeing them. I think the first time I ever saw them was UB.
Okay.
And it was fucking crazy. The safest place was right on the stage. That was the safest place you could be, was right at the front. And then I saw them at, this is hardcore, the first year at the Electric Factory.
Okay.
And that was the year them and Death Threat played back to back. So they both did the songs that each other is on and with each other, which was fucking awesome. And that was the first time I ever saw Death Threat. And it was a stage dive Death Threat set. It wasn't just 5 guys who all looked the same and weighed the same, singing along and moshing real hard.
It's everybody was.
It was a packed up crowd singing along and lots of stage dives. I spent the whole Death Threat set stage diving instead of moshing because
awesome.
You just could. It was amazing. It was the best Death Threat set I've seen still to this day. But I've still had fun every other time I see them, but that was the best one. And 100 Demons, I think we're riding the vibe from Death Threat set. So 100 Demons was a stage dive 100 Demons set as well, which I've never seen one of those again. I've never seen a 100 Demons set that is all stage dives and pylons. But I was head on a swivel for Tied Down. I need to be hyper aware all the time about who's going to knock me out during this 100 Demons set. And then after 3 songs, I was oh, I forget of all these hard CT bands, 100 Demons, actually the band where everybody just kind of hugs and sings along. And then there's a few breakdowns where you have to be a little aware.
Get out of the way.
But the most of the set was just fun vibes, just a great time. And yeah, it was awesome. Colin of Arabia broke up a fight or just diffused a situation during 100 Demons too. It's very cool. 2 kids were getting a little chippy at one another, and he was just made them chill out, and then everybody chilled out, and everybody's had a great time during 100 Demons.
Yeah, it's awesome. The gaps where I've seen 100 Demons. It's I first saw 100 Demons in 2003, and then I didn't see them again until 2016, and then here we are. It's going to be 2024, and I get to see them again.
Cicadas or something.
Yeah, well, there's been a couple of times where I was supposed to see them, and then shows didn't happen for some reason.
Some reason for 2 years or something.
Yeah, So it's just like I'm going to cherish this moment again, because like when I saw them in 2016, I was just like I was just one of those things where like I had listened to so much 100 Demons that I just didn't even realize how many songs I actually knew by 100 Demons. So when I saw them live, it was just like, oh, I know all these fucking words, because it's just like, you know, I've listened to them so much. So now,
yeah, that's me. That was me at Tied Down, was like realizing like, holy shit, I forget how many of these songs I know like every word to.
Yeah. So it's just going to be...
There's not that many bands anymore that I know every word to every song.
Yeah, so that's what I'm just excited for. Is 100 Demons is going to be sick. But then also, yeah, shout out to, like I said, like the kids are, you know, making moves down there in San Diego with Hereditary. I'm a huge fan of that band. And then,
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, it's super sick kids just out there putting in work. Awesome music. And then God Awful from the Inland Empire, you know, they're putting in work.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, seeing them on the bill's cool. But yeah, great first announcement, and I'm just stoked to see the rest of it.
Yeah, and these Hereditary kids look like they're all like 19.
Yeah, they're all pretty young.
That's awesome.
Pretty young, but super dedicated. And that's what I love. That's what I love to see.
Download this, check it out.
Yeah, you should. It's legit. But
hell yeah, I need to check out some new bands.
You know who I'm really rocking with is that band Soulless. Have you checked them out?
I haven't heard that either.
Okay. Soulless, they're so sick. They just played their first show with 100 Demons.
They're an East Coast band?
Yes. They just have a demo out.
I'm downloading it right now. I'll check it out.
Yeah, Soulless is sick. There's a band from LA. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're called Dark Uniform. They just put out a demo like not too long ago.
I haven't heard of that either.
It's like more like faster, like punk stuff. It's so sick.
Okay.
Yeah. They're
music to check out.
They're trying to get more active.
That's awesome. Yeah. I want to get out and play more so bad, because that's the only way I ever see new shit.
Well, you're about to...
just doesn't come through Louisville as much anymore.
You guys are getting some cool shows, right? It seems like I always see flyers going on out there.
We had Prevention and goddamn, what's that? The Columbus band. Jacob Westfall's in it. Like an AN kind of band.
I'm not familiar.
Two Witnesses just played with them at Spinelli's. The new Spinelli's had a show recently.
Okay.
And they played... Fuck was that band called? I'm so stupid.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yep, I'm not going to figure this out. I was hoping maybe I could do the whole related artists and find it, but I just don't think that's going to work for me right now. God damn it. I feel really bad for forgetting my friend Jacob's band. I moshed, and I don't remember the name of the band right now. So there's that.
Okay. Well, if it comes
they're
to
like fast. They're like fast hardcore, but like American Nightmare kind of shit.
Okay. Well, text it to me if you remember at some point.
God damn it. They played. Ooh, is it In Love?
In Love. Okay.
Like EN.
En
Love. Yeah.
All right.
In Love. That's it.
I'll check it out. En Love. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, God, whatever it is, it's got like a bitchy name. I know it's got like a bitchy name, and there it is. Yeah.
The TikTok is still active. I see you on TikTok.
Yeah, we haven't made one in so long. I've got like a pile of packages for us to open at some point. Ashton's been going through some shit, so like I've been that available to just sit there and make TikToks with me, and I've got to have her to make the TikToks, because I don't have the ability to make TikToks on my phone. I don't have TikTok technology.
Okay. Also, I feel like it's more fun when you create content with someone else than doing it
Oh yeah,
alone.
no, it's way more fun. Especially if I was doing it by myself, it would feel so stupid. But the fact that she's there to like catch me at my worst is like truly like the better way for it to happen. She started like I don't know. I one of them recently. I know she showed me before she posted it because she was laughing about it, but she like started filming me like way before she told me she was.
Okay.
So like the beginning of it is me just going like, are you filming now? Which is great. Love it. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else LDB's got going on right now that I can use this moment of attention to. If somebody's listened to us for 2 hours and is still listening to us babble on about shit.
You know, we're about to hit 3 hours, by the way.
We're about to hit 3 hours. There's nobody still listening at this point.
I think you'd be surprised.
Oh yeah, we put out that Mesmer 7-inch since we talked last, and the Raw Life LP. That Mesmer 7-inch is cool. If you like fuzzy rock shit like Dinosaur Jr. and you haven't checked out that Mesmer 7-inch that we put out, it's worth a spin. And if you want to buy it, that would be fucking cool. But if you don't, you know what? That's fine. Just stream it. It's really good. It's 4 songs. It's short.
You know what I was really surprised about when I was at LDB is, and I'm talking about when I was out there for the fest, you had, your stickers for your podcast, Hardcore Troubadour, but you were like not promoting it. So like anytime people would come up, I'd be like, hey, did you know Tyler's a podcast? And they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's me. That's what I do.
Yeah. So I was like,
if somebody asks about it, I'll tell them what it is. Or if they pick that sticker, like whenever if somebody gets something at the table, I'll be like, yo, grab you a sticker if you want. And if they grab that and they are like, what is this? Or they grab it, I'll be like, it's a country music podcast I do. That's the most I really promote it. It feels, I don't know. I even feel weird promoting the podcast in the newsletter. Like I've only done it a couple times when it like felt like it was like appropriate to like promote or whatever. But yeah.
Oh,
I've kind of fallen off a lot on the podcast lately because we spent our backlog of episodes that we had recorded a while ago, and then we've actually been recording it more like the few days before they post anymore. So if we reach like a weird fucked up thing like we have several times in the past few months where like we have to cancel a recording, it's like, oh well, now we're not recording for another week, so we're having like an extra week. So this whole bi-weekly plan that we had is really falling apart. And you know what? This is what life looks like sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Hey, as long as you don't give up on it, I feel like that's the most important thing.
No, well, it's crazy too, because like we started this as just like a thing to talk about Steve Earle, and we're getting really close to finishing. Like the record that we're talking about this week is from 2014. So when we started talking about this man and his music, it was 1986.
Okay.
So like we've covered all of his records, all of his live albums, all the documentaries, several little side mission things. Like when we talked to Tom Sheehan, and we talked to Brian's old bandmate, Brian Hartley, and we talked to Jesse from Canada band. Oh my God. Meantime. Talked to Jesse from Meantime, and recently we talked to Jeremy Holohan, who played in Super Touch and who played in Sleepaway with me, and Miracle Drug. We recently talked to him, and we're gonna try to start doing that a little bit more. But yeah, we're gonna reach a point soon where it's like the podcast is gonna turn into something else. It's gonna turn into us talking about way more variety of music and different little missions, I think, for things to analyze and talk shit about. But yeah, it's fun. I was supposed to do that tonight, and then he canceled on me, so I hit you up to see if you could swap your days this week. And I'm glad you could, honestly, because I honestly wish we could have just talked Monday. when like Deadpool was even more fresh in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I am kind of glad I got a couple days to like talk with other people about it and like really remember what I liked about it and what made me laugh about it.
Well, it's been fun. I'm glad that our one MCU podcast of the year wasn't such a downer, because there's been some not so good movies, but yeah, like I said, I've been looking forward to this all year, 7
and
months.
We'll see how Echo is. I have not high hopes for Echo, but hopes. They're hopes. They're not high, but they're hopes. Yeah,
I'm just like, where's the Daredevil cameo? That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Daredevil cameo. I'm excited for more Vincent D'Onofrio.
Mm-hmm.
Love me some Vincent D'Onofrio. He's phenomenal. I liked Homegirl playing Echo in the Hawkeye series, so I'm certainly interested. And then I can't wait to talk about Madam Web. Even if it sucks, we're gonna have so much fun.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Because it's just like, because the one Spider movie that wasn't Spider-Man that I was looking forward to was Silk, but then I'm pretty sure that got scrapped.
Super scrapped. But I will say all the clips from Madam Web I've seen look so bad that I fucking can't wait. I can't wait to put some context on this shitty delivery that Dakota Johnson has brought into this movie. Phenomenal.
Okay.
It's awesome.
So we'll do Echo next month in August.
Yes.
And then we'll do Madam Web in September.
Yes. We'll do Madam Web. We'll do Madam Web when I get home from Japan.
Okay. That'll be great, because I want to hear about Japan, because you're living out my dream vacation, going to Japan.
You should go to Japan.
That is something I'm doing next year. I'm going to Korea in October.
In October? Okay. I couldn't remember when you were going this year.
Mm-hmm. Speaking crazy. Okay, LDB. I'm just standing at the LDB table, just minding my own business. And this guy walks up to me. He's like, hey, are you Indonesian? I'm like, no. I was like, I'm Filipino and Cambodian. I'm like, are you Indonesian? And he's like, no, I'm Black and Korean. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I'm going to Korea in October. And he's like, what? He's like, dude, I live in Seoul. Like, let's trade Instagrams. Like, we should link up and hang out.
No way.
Yeah. So random. And, I was like, oh, this guy could be a serial killer or whatever. Like, I'll do like a vibe check. And, we've chatted here and there, and he seems like a really chill dude. So the plan is.
A dude from Korea at the fest?
Yeah. Well, he splits time between Korea, and he lives in like Texas and Korea. It's
crazy.
Yeah. Crazy lifestyle.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah. So random. I'm just standing there minding my own business, and this guy comes up to me.
How many days are you going to spend in Korea?
A whole week.
A whole week? That's so cool.
Yeah, a whole week. I got a list.
Are you going to be in the same city the whole time, or are you going to be seeing the country at all?
Same city. I'll be in. I'm staying in the Myeongdong area.
Okay.
Come find me.
I don't know what that means, but cool.
Yeah, it's like in the middle of everything, because I got like this list of things that I have to do, and then just kind of wing it.
Is that in Seoul?
Yeah.
Is that really the only place to go in Korea?
No. There's Jeju Island, but you have to get on an airplane for that.
Oh, I've heard about Jeju Island. Jeju Island has a crazy event happen on it.
Oh, really? I know Jeju Island because twice rented out a whole resort to film a music video there.
I'm pretty sure Jeju Island is like, and it might be. I know it gets referenced in some K-pop. A horrifying massacre happened on Jeju Island.
Okay, I'll have to look into it.
By the South Korean government before the war.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't realize how many people the South Korean government killed before we came in to help them fight the North Koreans.
It's pretty crazy.
They killed like a significant amount of their own population before the war started. It was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
We maybe didn't have any business getting involved in.
I'm excited to experience new culture, especially going to the homeland of like this thing that I'm obsessed with.
So. Oh yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited for you. That's awesome. It's really interesting to me. Like especially like I was listening to I was listening to like this history podcast, and it went that I'm pretty sure it was Jeju Island, because that sounds so familiar. But also, you listen to a podcast, and how much shit do you actually fucking retain from things? But I'm pretty sure it was a few, at least like a big K-pop group has like references to the Jeju Island massacre in some of their songs, which is like, I was like kind of shocked by that. I was like kind of shocked that like part of Korean popular culture, like in music, is like brave enough to like be like, hey,
There was this
I just don't
giant
think about
massacre.
K-pop being something that like gets like, you know, I don't know. You hear music like that and you're like, this sounds way too I don't
Too
know.
happy.
Too happy. Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds way too happy to be like bringing up like a horrible atrocity, but fucking cool.
Should be fun. October.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If you're in Korea, let's link up.
If you're not a serial killer.
If you're not a serial killer, and I'm hoping that this guy is not one, he could be completely fooling me. And if I
I think
die,
he's fine.
if I don't
If he
come
went
back,
to LDB, I bet he's a great guy.
I hope so. Because we talked for like, had it been like 5 minutes. It wasn't that long.
Yeah, but I feel like talking for 5 minutes in person and then just talking on the internet a little bit that's enough to feel somebody out to go meet up with them for coffee or go to a record store or something.
Yeah. I'm trying to get some good food.
Yeah, or at least listen to them when we're about some places they tell you that you should go eat or see.
Yeah. I honestly, I spend most of my days, like, I'm so nervous. I've watched like so many different vloggers, like how to get from like Incheon airport to like where I'm, like the area that I'm staying in.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched like seriously like probably like 20 different vloggers just doing it over like different years, and it never changes. It's always the same. So I'm like, all right, I feel like when I land, I'll be way less scared than I should be.
Will you be taking a train and whatnot?
I'm still deciding, because like, am I brave enough to get on the train, or should I just play it safe and just ride the private bus where it'll take me straight to the area?
Dude, take a train.
Yeah, I want to. That's the cheapest option, but like that's where
Asia's like the land of trains. Take a train.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm definitely gonna get on a train at some point, because I want to.
We watched Train to Busan recently. I'd never seen it.
Oh, you never seen it, dude?
Phenomenal, dude.
That
What
opened
a
my eyes.
flick.
Yeah, that opened my eyes to like how shit can change so quickly.
Dude, it made me so sad about how bad Eternals was too. Because that guy is so good in Train to Busan.
Yeah.
He got fucked.
Crazy movie. Yeah, fuck Eternals. You know,
Yeah, fuck Eternals, dude.
I just watched some. I follow this artist on Instagram. His name's David Cho, and like one of his friends, he posted a video of one of his friends just totally just making a funny Instagram story, because he basically was trashing Deadpool but talking about how he loves Eternals, but he was joking. And I got the
Yeah.
joke, and I was just like, oh my god, this is I hadn't heard Eternals in so long, and I heard it and I started like cringing. I was like, god damn, I forgot about that movie.
Dude, it's rough. I still, anytime I think about Eternals, I think about how I did that math. It bothered me so bad I did math.
Yeah. Well, at least they're finally going to address that giant celestial being that's stuck in the ocean.
Are they?
Yeah. I forget which movie it's going to come out. I think it might be Captain America or Thunderbolts, but they're going to address it as like, oh, we found a new material called adamantium.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Captain America.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because they're going to like argue like that it should be a shared like, you know, resource. But Eternals 2 2027.
Dude, I honestly, you know what? Bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on. I had a fun time talking about how bad it was. I'll watch another shit movie.
Yeah, some of those characters
Make fun of it.
I still like what's the girl with the green costume, the main girl, what's her name?
I don't know. They were all so forgettable.
Because there was Icarus, and then who's the girl?
Icarus was the one who yeeted himself into the sun.
Yeah, Eternals cast. Why can't I think of her name?
Gilgamesh was the guy from Train to Busan.
Cersei. That's her name.
Cersei, there it is.
Cersei. Yeah. Maybe Blade gets credited in the movie because of the post-credit scene.
That's so fucking funny. Dude, so sad how many awesome people were in I forgot they got Bill Skarsgård to play the monster that gets unceremoniously killed for more or less no fucking reason.
Dude, I forgot about Thanos' brother too, Harry Styles. What the hell? There's so many things.
Yeah, that shit was so dumb.
So many things that they just never address again.
Never address again. That's so cool. Barry Keoghan too. Or Keoghan. How the fuck do you pronounce that weird fucker's name? God, Angelina Jolie was so not good in that movie.
Jeez. And then Kumali Ali, Neon Johnny.
Yeah, Kumail Nanjiani given the same performance he gives in everything, and somehow it's just diminishing returns now.
All right. Well,
wrap it up, Jamie.
Yeah, this has been awesome. I am happy to have you back on the podcast. MCU will not die. It's forever.
Till we're dead.
Till we're dead.
Yeah.
Till we're dead. I hope in the future, whenever we do the final MCU episode, we probably won't know it's the final episode, but I just hope we end on a good one, not a like a Eternals or something like that.
True, but legitimately though, you inevitably outlive me, I hope you do these episodes without me, but at least imagine what I would have thought of these things.
Why do you think I'm going to outlive you? We're the same age.
I know, but dude, I've been living way harder. There's just no way. There's no way. This is not sustainable, what I've been doing to myself.
What if my plane goes down and I'll go to Korea?
Dude, don't do that. Don't say that.
I'm just kidding. Well, honestly,
I'm going to Japan first. My plane can go down and go.
That is true.
We're going to be on a plane for so long. It's going to be so stressful.
I'm looking forward to the good food on the airplane because they serve you like 3 meals. That's how long the flight is. Yeah, they serve you like 3 meals and snacks.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, but okay, we don't have to get too dark. But we'll I don't know what will happen in the end. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
All right. Well, this was awesome. We'll be back next month.
Next month, yes.
Our Echo breakdown, Disney Plus, and then hopefully we'll have more news to talk about from D23.
D23, yeah, that'd be cool.
All right. Anything else before we go?
Thank you for talking to me about Deadpool and making all this way more fun always.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for everybody who stuck around. We'll be back sooner than last time. Appreciate all your time. Thank you. Goodbye.